Shot my dog, I can't stand. Yeah, shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shot my dog until she drops. 2,000 volts straight in her top. Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah, got this remote on me like in my Glock. If Kaya tried to move, she out of love. She better know I don't give a fuck. She's getting off her place, she's getting struck. Gotta stay in that little place for 8 hours. She getting up, I can't allow her. She my Palestine, I got the power. I'm in my electric ivory tower. Why she act like such a baby? When I shock her, she go crazy, making me look bad on the stream. Gonna hit her with my power beam. I don't know why that stupid dog G up. She should know better not to call for help. Cause you already know when my stream is. I do some shit that would get me banned. Don't you know how much money I spent? That dog costs more than your mama rent. I got the most expensive breed. You know that's the one I need. That stupid dog is so spoiled. Yeah, one more time she getting boiled. Moving with my dog to China. I'll lead her up, goodbye to Kaya.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. The passport bros, it's just a movement of people that are seeking out foreign women because, well, they don't want to deal with Western women, particularly American women. If you are a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, ay, ay, ay. Go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, ay, 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 go east, ay, 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 go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go. They say you guys are just committing a different form of pain for sex, prostitution, whatever you want to call it, in the sex industry. That's all it is. Well, that is highly insulting. I would even say that's pretty much racist. If these other women suddenly don't have agency, as people women in the West that are complaining about this, and the guys, the better guys that enable them and back them up, that parrot these points, they're saying that these women over here can't make their own choices. You're coming with your Western money, and suddenly you're dazzling them and enchanting them, and you're removing their agency. No, that's clearly not the case. They're playing 40 chess. If you are a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, ay, 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 go east, ay, 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 go east. Go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, there's a possibility to get pretty cheap rent in Korea. What is Korea known for? Korea has really hot women, that's just very clear. Philippines is good for pussy. If you're a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go to the Philippines, you'll get laid. Obviously, Thailand is very open in terms of sexuality and sex culture. They have the go-go bars and ladies that work it, and all of the completely legal unless it is specifically banned. It's perverted. Thai women very much like Western men. Obviously, watch out for the lady boys. If you are a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, ay, 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 go east, ay, 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 go east. Go east, yeah, yeah. Go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go. Also, Korea, one of the the capitals of plastic surgery. They're large-breasted women. I have seen personally women with G-cup boobs, H-cup boobs. It's very possible. Now, mind you, a lot of them are wearing padded bras and other things like that, so buyer beware. But there are very large-breasted women also surgically enhanced. How you feel about that is up to you, but there are definitely curvaceous women. I think people who say all Asian women are flat haven't been here, haven't seen it. It may not be your standards if you are thinking the big booty Lizzos and stuff like that. That's a whole separate category, but I would say go try it, go check it out. If you are a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, yeah, yeah, go east, yeah, yeah, go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east. If you are a loser, if you're old as hell, if you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, yeah, yeah, go east, yeah, yeah, go east, yeah, yeah. If you are a dude that can't get laid anywhere, go east, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
It's time to go full demon time. It is time to go full demon time. And it is time to go full demon time.
It's time to go full demon time. Yeah, I'ma expose every line. Not the only one committing crime.
It's a Gooch March Halloween special.
Plus she's rabbits the whole timeline. I know I had bad habits. Road rage and shrooms, I was manic. But what about your rabbits? You didn't give them enough letters. Let you in for my benefit. Got too popular, could stand it. We shouldn't stream at the same time, cause my fans think you're more prime. Hey, Emmy, have more views than me. Plenty. All cause of these stupid plushy bears. The only reason they watch and care. Hey, Emmy, plushy traumatic stress, there was so many. They got me living down in fear. These plushies talk all I could hear. Could call me a real veteran. Plushy war, now I need medicine. Teddy Bears gave me a heart attack. Plushy traumatic stress like in Iraq. And what I did, it wasn't fair. But throwing plushies just can't compare. Recovering from this plushy attack. Front, left, right, they hit me in my back. They keep me up, having nightmares. Living in fear, baby, I'm scared. And me, girl, what you did to me made me something that I don't wanna be.
I'm so gay.
Hey, Emmy. Smashing doors, slamming. Manipulated you for all these years, cause you threw the plushy bears. Hey, Emmy. If you still wanna marry, I'm dictating what you can wear, cause those pajamas a little too bare. Hey.
You was hurting me so bad. Throwing all these plushies. Made me cry, made me so mad. With all these fluffy plushies.
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content loop. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the claims. This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection, people's copyrights, and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important.
Oh, Casey. Oh, Casey, Ethan has left you destitute. What is up, witches? How's everybody doing tonight? All right. We're live, baby. And we are going to finish up this Sneak Andros video about Nux Taku's absolute degenerate Discord server. Now, I'm sure it gets way worse than what we've already seen. So where we left off, we learned that he's a hypocrite. And he's blaming the parents for letting their kids come into the Discord server that he allowed children into and then didn't moderate. A Discord server which contained an NSFW section that he only started because a minor asked him to. So, you know, the parents should have been watching that kid so it didn't come into his server and then ask him to make an NSFW section, which he then did. But he wouldn't have done that if the parents were doing their job. So it's actually all our fault, guys. Something tells me this is going to get way worse than him just being a hypocrite. I have a feeling things are going to get wild. So we left off on the part about the Discord server. So we're going to pick that up here. Just stated. Oh. No Casey, no cry. Alright. Let me get that pulled up. Alright. It's enough from you, Casey. Thank you. We'll also be checking out Marathon's Server Slam this weekend. I'm going to give this game, to give some quick video game talk before we dive back into the drama here, because I might have to stitch this together with the other stream we did to make one full VOD out of this. And then next stream, we've got the people sweeping for him, and then we've got some other drama I've got lined up, but this was the big one that I've got multiple videos on, and we'll probably crash out while covering. So I wanted to get this one out of the way. Wanted to make this a big segment. But before we jump into that, Marathon Server Slam. I'm giving this game the old college try. But I will admit, I was not impressed with any of the trailers or anything I've saw so far. I mean, absolutely looked mediocre. It looked like, oh, good.
Do is lie about their age.
Yes, thank you. So I was not impressed with what I played, with what I saw before the Server Slam came out. But she said, you know what? I don't like the art style. I don't like the fact that it's an extraction shooter. I don't like the fact that Bungie doesn't make single player games anymore. That they've just given up on making any story content whatsoever. That got less and less. I mean, the writing was on the wall for this because that got less and less as Destiny progressed. Cutscenes got shorter. The amount of story content per big expansion, per big update that you had to do in Destiny before you got to the grind got shorter and shorter. And then they started vaulting actual story content, which showed that they didn't care about it anymore. And now they've made a completely new game, which has damn near no story in it at all. That's like my biggest complaint with extraction shooters is they have like very little story, which I get with a battle royale because it's all about the PvP. But I don't think extraction shooters should be focused on PvE. They're sold as PvEVP games. So the PvP is supposed to be an optional thing, not the focus of the game. The looting and the progressing through the story and stuff is supposed to be, that gameplay loop is supposed to be the focus of an extraction shooter. And all extraction shooters kind of suffer from this. Even Arc Raiders, which I do enjoy and I will endlessly praise for their matchmaking, which makes it so that if you care about PvP, you get more of it. If you don't care about PvP, you get less of it. So you can kind of play the game your way. But when you don't focus on PvP, like I don't, and you just want to play through the game and you enjoy the gameplay loop of the looting and fighting the robots, and you want to progress through the story is very lackluster. It's very generic. It's very few cutscenes. It just doesn't, I don't have any attachment to that world or what's happening in it. So I'm just kind of, and that kind of turned me off from it. Eventually I got burnt out with the looting and the shooting portion of it, and there was nothing else to engage in other than PvP, which I didn't want to do, so I just stopped playing the game. And I'm scared Marathon's going to kind of go down the same route for me, as I'm going to kind of forget about it, because I'm going to engage with the gameplay loop, and I enjoy Bungie's gunplay. That part's fun. But I'm going to get bored shooting the robots, which don't seem to put up much of a fight in this so far. They don't offer much of a challenge. I'm not going to care about the PvP, so I'm going to actively try to avoid it. And I'm going to try to progress through the game, which isn't going to have much story, which isn't going to keep me engaged, and then eventually I'm just going to fall off. The difference between this and Arc Raiders is that you don't get that matchmaking, which makes it so that you can play the game your way. So I have a feeling like I'm just going to end up raging at PvP content because it's going to become unavoidable in this game. And if Destiny's PvP is anything to go by, they will make no effort to balance this shit whatsoever. And I get it. There's already little balancing in a looter, in a extraction shooter to begin with, because it's all about the loot you bring with you or the loot you find. So people don't drop in with the same shit like they do in a battle royale. Somebody can drop in with god tier gear and just decimate. So it's already imbalanced by design. So taking away that ability to avoid PvP if you want to and just enjoy the actual gameplay part. I don't know. We'll see. I'm giving this server slam a go. So we'll have some marathon gameplay in the background while we catch up on the while we finish out the Nux Taku's EDP Empire. An amazing video by Nick Andros. I encourage you guys to go watch it without my shit commentary over top of it, or me crashing out about them constantly blaming parents, because I am a parent, and these are definitely childless people. But anyway, we'll continue where we left off. And he has this video labeled as part 1, and it is an hour and a half long. And if this is, and it's getting this wild in part 1, I can only imagine how much worse it gets in part 2. But anyway, let's fucking go.
Discord. The channels were fortunately removed 6 days after the server was open to the public. The announcement of their removal does mention issues like minors sneaking in by lying about their age. However, the main reason was that having NSFW channels disqualified the server from Discord partnership. Some users...
So it's about money. I guess is better than it being about him being interested in minors, but only slightly so. They said he's willing to extort kids for profit.
Protested. Nux's content already involved a lot of NSFW media, so why not allow people to post it in his community?
By people, it means minors. You've already established in this video that his NSFW content was specifically formatted in a way to target minors. He'll deny it, but it's obvious.
Staff member responded that the age group of the Billies, that being the name of Nux Taku's fandom, wasn't appropriate for it. So even Nux Taku's Discord staff members knew that a large chunk of his audience were minors. The decision to have NSFW channels on the server was already questionable in the first place, but it becomes even more questionable when you remember that Nux Taku made that predator catfishing video months earlier.
I wanted to make this sort of an educational topic and bring light to an issue that's really big. There's a lot of predators on Discord, like a lot.
There's a lot of predators on Discord, like a lot.
And most of them are in your server.
How do you make a video raising awareness of Discord predators, but then set up a Discord server which will facilitate adult conversations?
See, he's actually playing 4D chess here, Nux Taku. What he's actually doing is he's warning everybody about the predators in his server so that minors will stay out. That's why he doesn't need age verification, because he warned them that, hey, if you come in here, there's a lot of predators in here. You were warned. And it's actually their fault. It's actually going to be their fault if they engage with it. So, there you go.
Between adults and minors. But hey, they deleted the NSFW channels quickly, so the problem is solved, right? Not necessarily. Nux Taku shouted out the Discord on December 28th on his Twitch, and December 30th on YouTube. His audience floods in, there's problems with minors showing up in the NSFW channels, and then they find out that having them at all would disqualify them from Discord partnership. Instead of wiping them out instantly, they announce they'll be deleted in 2 days. Why?
He's got to give the minors time to download all the NSFW content. Why can I not pick this up? There we go.
So that people can pay their respects to a Discord goon channel? I saw a member of the council mention that the users
so they can download the content on the goon channel.
on the NSFW channels set up their own fan NSFW server, which I have to guess the staff allowed them to promote on those channels. I can't confirm that since those channels are now gone, but I saw one user even in the general channel promoting their own NSFW server. So all of those minors who were lying about their age in the first place and accessing the NSFW channel on Nux's server would just get funneled to that fan server instead. Who was moderating it? Who knows? What age verification standards were they going to uphold, assuming the admins are not
None. The answer's none.
minors themselves, or even worse, adult predators? There's a lot of those on Discord apparently. I'd like to remind you at this point that Ava Chris Tyson's Discord server was private when the NSFW channels were open in 2018. It was closed when the server was open to the public in January 2019. In Tyson's case, the drama was about LavaGS, Nathan, and apparently a handful of other minors being present on the server while it was private. The initial accusations made by Prism42 also included claims of Tyson grooming LavaGS, but no evidence for that was ever found. The Discord just had NSFW content available to minors. By those standards, Nux Taku's Reddit was already way worse, and his Discord way worse 4 years after Tyson's Discord, when there was more of a general awareness of these issues. Tyson's server apparently still had sexual chats or juvenile banter after it went public, but looking at the kinds of terms that were frequently used on Nux's Discord, there was plenty of that to go around. If NSFW content was now banned from Nux Taku's Discord, how did they handle Nux Taku's NSFW content? If the thumbnails contained NSFW content, the staff members would remove their embeds. Darn Nux using blatantly NSFW thumbnails that stay in the Discord cache after he censors them. Some users would still post NSFW images from Nux's content or the content of his friends, and the staff, despite reacting to them, wouldn't delete them. God damn it, Nux.
Because they want the minors to see it. Like, this shit couldn't be more obvious. I can't believe there's people fucking sweeping for this asshole.
Trying to keep the order. In a recent one, he used a thumbnail from an actual porn video. Ah, okay, so Nux again with the nip slip, I see. This is Pokemon branded lolly bestiality in
Ugh. What the fuck? This dude's a predator. This dude, no. He's not just a guy trying to griff and make money. He's an actual fucking predator. This is way too, like, this is a level of intentionality beyond just I want to make money off children. No, he's getting a kick out of this shit. You cannot convince me otherwise.
In January 2022. According to the Wayback Machine, this thumbnail was left like this for months. This is on par with his idea to make Twitch streamers say the N-word. We removed the embed. Nux is pushing the limits, Lamau. What is he pushing the limits of? The thumbnail of his latest video. Then why he do it non-censored then? That's the big question. Here's a bigger question. If the age group of Nux's audience is too young for his Discord community to have NSFW channels, but most of the people on this server came from Nux's channel, why is the content of that channel too NSFW for the demographic of the Discord? Isn't this massively self-incriminating? Despite having this
Yes, it is.
long history of running communities where minors were exposed to adult content, and that being the very core of his YouTube content for years, in 2024, Nux Taku wasn't only criticizing, but grandstanding over Ava Chris Tyson. He was also putting lolly-bestiality into his content before and after he was supposed to confront Shadman for drawing lolly-bestiality on September 30th of 2021. However, Nux Taku's numerous lies about his association with Shadman is something for a different video. There's also the V Shoujo drama to cover, which lots of people think he was in the right about. That is not the case at all, but again, different video. It's a real shame because what I'm going to reveal next is likely going to kill his career. Not to imply what I presented earlier isn't already bad enough, but this is just beyond forgiveness. You see, there is another Nux Taku Discord server, even older than his subreddit. I saw an ad for it which made me very intrigued.
Really help keep my channel afloat. All patrons are invited to the Discord server where we hang out.
That's right, all patrons, all people who pay to see my NSFW content. I don't care if you're minors, by the way.
Out having a great time, and unlike Tumblr, we have an NSFW section.
Fuck.
Damn it!
Where's my team? Yeah, there's that PvP I can't avoid. It's healing in these games always takes fucking 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Nexus. Nux Taku's...
Yeah, no, I'm gonna crash out on the game for a minute. Great, yeah, this is another, yeah. I love this style of game. I love getting shot twice and then having to take fucking 30 fucking shots of fentanyl before I can get back in the fight every time I get shot. And then I get shot 3 more times and I gotta take fucking 30 more shots of fucking fentanyl. Like, yeah, like I fucking love that. I fucking love this gameplay loop. This is great. Jesus fucking Christ. One fucking extraction shooter actually becomes popular. And it's not because of its gameplay loop. It's because of its matchmaking and the fact that people don't have to be sucked into this fucking style of gameplay forever. They can actually play their way. And now every game's going to try to do this. Fuck, man. I do not want to be in the age of extraction shooters. Okay, anyway.
Patreon Discord. Founded in April of 2018.
Wait.
In its current state, the server is almost totally inactive, but the NSFW channel is still here. Despite having an NSFW channel...
Yeah, so he never got rid of it. He left it in there so kids can continue to, you know, go and grab that content if they want, because they're paying him for it. They're literally paying him to access that content. He doesn't want to remove it.
The server's rules mention nothing about a minimum age, and there is nothing about it being 18 plus on the Patreon side either. What's special about this community is Nux's level of engagement. He wasn't talking to people on his Reddit, and he kept the interactions on the public Discord to a minimum. However, on the Patreon Discord, at least in 2018-2019, he would actually talk to people and even hang out in voice chats with them. Here we can actually see him talking with the artist behind his 2019-era character. The original high-resolution files are here as well. This one, where Nux is rubbing his hands, has the file name nux_merchant.png. Very interesting. The NSFW channel wasn't there from the start. We can trace its creation to this exchange from October 15th, 2018, where we can see this user, who from now on will be called Red, repeatedly asking Nux to create it. If we look at the time and date of these messages, the NSFW channel was made 2 minutes later. In response to this, Red raised their Patreon pledge, and Nux gave them a thumbs up. For a brief moment, let me take you to August of 2024. Nux Taku is finally being pressed about his past content, and he was actually pushed into making a response.
The biggest shock to me to this day entering the broader commentary sphere was the dangers lurking around every corner in regards to children. Children are not safe on the internet. I only became chronically online after high school, but I couldn't imagine what it would do to me if I was in some YouTuber's Discord server at the age of 12 or 14.
You couldn't imagine. You don't need to. Red joined the server on September 7th. On day 1, they openly declared themselves to be 14 years old. They would later claim to be 15 multiple times, but as they openly stated, they were lying about their age. Red was born in 2004. They had turned 14 soon before they joined the server. The Discord was a pretty small clique, and soon enough, basically everyone on the server knew that Red was underage. Despite this, Nux Taku made the NSFW channel for them a month later.
Literally got paid by a minor to make an NSFW section, and he did it. I don't understand how he hasn't been banned yet. How he hasn't been banned from Discord, from YouTube, from any of these places where he's getting away with this shit. How the fuck does he still exist online?
And within a year, they had posted 242 messages on the channel. There's also an instance where another user...
I mean, does he have to go full EDP and offer them cupcakes first? Like how does this happen? How has he gotten away with it for this long?
...pinged Red into the NSFW channel. As far as I can tell, this behavior was not punished. So a 14-year-old paid Nux Taku money to be on his Patreon Discord server. He made the NSFW channel for them, after which he accepted even more money from them, and allowed them to post onto that channel for over a year before they left the server. But did Nux Taku know that Red was underage? There is no message of Nux acknowledging Red's age, however, it is extremely unlikely that he didn't know. In this conversation from earlier, where Red says they're lying about their age, Nux Taku shows up soon afterwards. In this conversation, there's some kind of an ERP going on in the general chat, which is interrupted by Red. Red is told not to get involved because they're underage. After Red says the conversation is making them gag, another user jokes, oh no, we better stop if we are gagging a minor. Red pinged Nux Taku soon afterwards, but Nux didn't show up. This is Mintheus Mouselord, or Mitochondria, or Mito. According to Nux Taku, they were the best poster on the NSFW channel. In this conversation about BDSM, we can see Red asking Mito to send their presentation on sex toys to other users. Note, I just made the presentation because Red was clueless.
He made a presentation on sex toys for a child. This is what's happening in Nux Taku's server. That's inherently 18 plus because it's a Patreon server. What? No ban, no punishment. And no one's calling this guy out for being a groomer. People have done less than been called a groomer. How the fuck does this guy still exist online? Also, how the fuck is this the parents' fault?
After Bex mentions having a high tolerance to weirdness, Nux shows up to say, proud fanbase. Gremmen asks Mito to say,
And Nux definitely knew about it because he's replying to that very conversation. He's taken part in the conversation. There's no way he didn't see the messages. There's no way he can play dumb here. There's no way he can say, oh, I didn't know. He definitely knew. Okay, can't hurt those things.
send the presentation to Nux. I think that Red already sent it to him. No, I told ya. Never sent it, but I can now. What are we sending me? A sex toy presentation. Why? Lol. We needed to explain sex toys to Red. Nah, it's fine.
And they're explaining that they made it specifically for the minor. So there's no question about it. You can't play dumb and pretend you didn't know what was going on here.
Fine if it's not sent to Nux. Already did, Mito. I'm not doing honest descriptions on all Mito's sex toys. Few minutes later at 2:16, Nux says, "Very cool, Mito, very cool." Nux Taku has now received a direct message from a minor on his server, containing a link to a sex toy presentation that was made for them. What adult is clueless about sex toys? That's a massive red flag that Red is a minor.
I mean, to be fair, there's probably some sheltered individuals who are prudes that are unaware. But, you know, not many. It's definitely not a defense. Just saying, those people do exist.
There was a previous time a month earlier when users in the voice chat text channel begged Nux Taku to join the VC because they needed help explaining sex toys to Red. Again, what adult doesn't know what sex toys are? In this example, Nux Taku declined the invitation to join the VC, but he absolutely was in voice chats with Red multiple times. One of my agents reached out to Red and asked him about their time on the server. They were willing to share their DMs with Nux to show that they did actually send him the sex toy presentation. So that actually happened. It wasn't just a joke. When asked about whether they were
Wow, and they actually sent it. Okay, so you can't even play it off as a joke now. I don't understand. I don't understand.
ever in voice chats with Nux Taku, Red recalled being in a VC with him.
If this isn't a fucking career ender, then I don't. Then the VTuber community is just okay with groomers at this point. They're just absolutely fine with it.
Plenty of times, couple of times a week. They'd be surprised if Nux didn't notice them being underage, since everyone else did. However, they don't recall Nux ever commenting on their age. Now, I am not a journalist. I'm just a guy on the internet. However, I know you're
Look at that. Look at that, Taylor Lorenz. See how easy it is to admit that? See how easy it is to just say that? And then, you know, your credibility isn't ruined. People just understand your position and where you're at. Like, it's not that hard to just admit that. People on the internet can also talk about things. You don't have to be a journalist. The fake credibility thing.
You're not supposed to take one person's word and just run with it. Red could be misremembering, they might have some bias for or against Nux Taku,
True.
so it's important to have corroborating evidence. On December 15th, 2018, Nux Taku pinged a deleted user to a VC. Red says Nux is in VC, everyone flood, implying they joined the voice channel with Nux. There's a similar message from January 15th, 2019. If we scroll down a bit, we can see a
not like
screenshot
Destiny.
showing
There
Nux
is
in the
fall
VC with Red. The real Nux Taku here is the real Nux Taku. Here's another screenshot from the time. Same name, same avatar. The current music channel used to be the old voice text channel, and on it we can sometimes see Red and Nux posting things close to each other That only makes sense if they were in the VC at the same time. Here, for example, Nux is working on a thumbnail. There's a message from Red, messages from Nux Taku, and then a message from Red. An hour later, messages from Nux Taku. In this one, we have a message from Red addressing Nux. Later a photo from Nux, then a photo from Red. In this instance, Red asks somebody to join the VC. Another user posts a caked up Charizard.
Ugh! The fuck? See, you can't convince me these, like, it's one thing to, like, hentai of adults and stuff. Like, I get it. Look, well, no, I don't get it. I don't understand you anime gooner freaks. And I'm saying gooner freaks, there's a difference between, yeah, I get it. Cool, call me a gooner. I like regular porn. I think most people, like, there's nothing wrong with being a gooner. It's the anime gooner freaks that are the problem, because it always turns into this shit. You can say that you start with, like, anime, and it's anime of adults, but then it always devolves into, like, taking children's properties and shows like Pokemon and sexualizing the absolute fuck out of it. These people are disgusting.
Nux Taku shows a work-in-progress thumbnail. Message from Red, the Charizard from earlier is now on Nux's thumbnail. This
Oh, and he's using the fucking porn of children's properties that a child sent him in the thumbnails for his video. And you want me to believe that he's not purposefully making these videos to target children? Nah. This is defenseless. There's no fucking defense for this shit. There's no way he didn't know. I mean, he's actually using it like this is damning. This is beyond damning. If he doesn't get quote unquote canceled for this shit, then I know everything. Then, like, every stereotype you've heard about VTubers and their disgusting communities is absolutely true. This is all the proof that you need, that VTubers and fans of VTubers are all a bunch of degenerate fucking freaks.
plenty of evidence of Red speaking, having audio issues, and other users commenting
No, this is not called. Why would you think this was Call of Duty? Never mind. I'm not even going to address that.
about their voice. So it's not like they never talked in the VC. I think this evidence sufficiently corroborates Red's recollection that they were in the VCs with Nux Taku multiple times. I'm not sure about a couple times a week, but certainly multiple times. Red was already behaving in a pretty immature way, even in the text messages. They would spam emojis and walls of text. To believe that Nux Taku didn't know Red's age, you'd have to believe he missed all of the instances when their age was mentioned.
Yeah, it is. Him not knowing is an impossibility.
You'd have to believe no one told him Red was a minor in chats, VCs, or DMs, and that Nux didn't realize it from their voice when talking to them in VCs. This should already be enough to strongly conclude that Nux Taku knew, but to show the full extent
Oh, he definitely knew. It's like, you don't even need that to conclude it. It's obvious at this point.
of the evidence and
It is an impossibility for him not to have known.
the full extent of
Like, he would have to be so fucking retarded that it would be impossible for him to function as a person. For him to wake up in the morning and tie his shoes and do normal people things, to just function as a human being. He would have to be that level of retarded to not know.
Nux Taku's beyond incomprehensible neglect. We need to introduce a new character. After joining the server, Red quickly made friends with another user called Alan Wiebes.
Like, this level of incompetence would leave him a drooling vegetable. There's no way he didn't know.
I know that Alan's avatar here looks an awful lot like Mr. Obvious from my engineer video, but they are not the same person. Alan was a small anime creator at the time and would promote his videos on Nux's Discord. The metadata of his channel reveals that he is from Romania, and he would often mention things about it on the server. There's a lot of conversations between them and Nux Taku on the server, and Nux has mentioned Alan's name 100 times. He even shouted out Alan's channel in a video from October 22nd, 2018.
All patrons are invited to the Discord server, where we do things like make fun of Alan Wiebes. If you don't know who Alan Wiebes is, oh, trust me, $1 to the Patreon is worth it to meet the guy. He's in a special kind of category.
So he's advertising meeting this Alice Wiebes guy for money. Okay. Something tells me this Alice Wiebes guy is about to be one of the most fucked up people in his Discord, isn't it? isn't it? All right, brace for impact, boys.
Or everyone that relates to him in any way is a tsundere because we all constantly make fun of him and make believe we hate him, but we all low-key like him. And also, thank you, Alan Weebus, for donating $10 on Patreon, so now I get to shout you out in all my videos. Link to Alan Weebus' channel is actually in the description. He makes funny shiz, and he takes the edge out of edgy, which leaves you just...
Okay, so he straight up promotes him and takes the edge out of edgy. Fuck does that even mean?
Why? Like, why is he making this video? That kind of thing. Anyway, special thanks to King Beat My Meat Sage.
Alan was a very
Special thanks to King Beat My Meat. These are the people in his server, by the way. These are their, like, just the names alone.
major contributor to the NSFW channel. However, according to Nux, they were still inferior to mitochondria. He apparently got his material from following more than 300 hentai artists on Twitter. That's only a third of the amount that Tecton was following. Alan
Oh, snap!
has made a lot of claims about their age, including saying that he was as young as 15. Plenty of users, including Nux Taku, have also claimed
Tactone's that level of degenerate that even being associated with him, like anyone who would call him a friend should just throw up immediate red flags. That's like being associated with Epstein level.
Alan to be underage. Alan is a lolly, no can do. Alan is underage. Does that mean Nux
Somebody needs to release the Tectone files. What is happening on this game?
is grooming Alan? What's going on here? According to Red's recollection, Alan was around 19 at the time. In this tweet, they claim to be 19 in 2019. So, if they're telling the truth here, they would have been 18. Another former member believed Alan to be around 21. According to Red's recollection, no one on the server genuinely believed Alan was underage. These statements about Nux grooming Alan or Nux calling Alan a lolly are simply jokes. Very optically bad jokes, but jokes nonetheless. While I'm not sure about Alan's exact age, they were clearly an adult. Alan has unfortunately deleted their Discord account, which makes it hard to determine which messages are his. But we can still tell if it's him talking thanks to context clues. Here Nux Taku mentions that Megu
Yeah, it'll say deleted user, but we can still read the messages and determine who it is. People tend to forget that. Like, it's never hard to figure out who the person is just by rereading the conversation. 9 times out of 10, they give away their identity.
Min from Konosuba
All right, but here comes Nick Andrew's detective skills. Detective mode activate.
is best girl. Alan points out that she is 14 years old. Another deleted user, who I assume is Zack, asks Alan about another character called Tiger. There's 2 deleted users talking here, so how can we tell them apart? Alan must be one of them because their name is mentioned. So this one must be Zack. One of them mentions the age of consent in Romania being 15, so that must be Alan. Zack uses capitalization, while Alan doesn't. That's how we know that it was Alan who said, "Who cares? If she can count, then she ready to mount."
Jesus Christ. Oh, they use the fucking... Maybe it's a reference to the fucking Hassan line? Maybe? I don't know why I'm being charitable to these fucking freaks.
This is Hassan taking more shots at
Yeah, it is. Okay. Still, though.
Nux Taku in his week-long feud with me while defending his bro tips past. Alright, I never brought up his bro tips past because I felt like it was so long ago it's not worth it, but he's bringing up like random shit from forever ago and warping it into calling me a pedophile for insane reasons. Did you know that in his bro tips past he had a famous quote where he said if she's old enough to count, she's old enough to mount?
Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark?
If that's not pedophile behavior, I don't know what is.
Well, if you want to know what pedophile behavior looks like, Nux Taku, all you got to do is take a visit to your own Discord server. There's plenty of examples of it in there, bud.
Hassan said that in 2013, he was playing a character, and he was asking it, not flat out stating it like Alan did. We can see Nux Taku right here.
True. Even though I don't want to defend Hassan thing. Yeah, it's very clear he was playing a character.
Not condemning those words.
These people aren't public figures in your Discord. They're not trying to play a character. They're just your community members. They have no reason to play a character. He at least did it for money. Holy shit, shouldn't have opened that.
At all. So he either used to not care about pedophile behavior, didn't think that it was pedophile behavior, or his attack on Hassan is knowingly deceitful. There's a difference between
It's all of the above. It can be more than one thing. It is straight up all of the above.
Between waifu and best girl. Waifus are mountable, so therefore the best girl isn't. However, the art of the best girl is lolly inclusive. Nux is using that word in the petite anime character sense, not
Holy
the
shit.
cartoon
I don't know what that
CP
is.
sense. Nux's stance on personally not being into lolly hentai has been consistent for years, but it didn't stop him from posting it onto YouTube. Then Alan says, "Lollies are very mountable." Nux Taku responds, "You're terrifying, Alan," and moves on. This was 12 days before Nux gave Alan that shoutout on his channel, so Alan saying things like this didn't seem to be a problem to him.
And he takes the edge out of edgy.
Look at this
Metroid's
art. This art is better. And it's Alan posting a comic about some boy kissing his dog. I wish I would be able to get sick from stuff like this again. By the way, don't ask why do I have that. Why do you have that? Red sent it to me. He always sends
Oh, he got it from the child. So he's in DMs with the child now too. Gross.
me fucked up shit like this. That guy's a sociopath, I tell ya. Red shows up and claims Alan...
No, that guy's a child. He is what you guys are grooming him to be, sure.
is the one who sent it, and shows a screenshot from their DMs. Wow, you resort to Photoshop to make me look bad? Shame. Red shares another screenshot, showing some of Alan's earlier messages. People have no shame, shake my head. Also, I hope someone at school sees you watching this.
Ah, and it's referencing like it's these constant. It's not even like you could say you forgot or he was mature for his. He is constantly referencing the fact that he's a minor and how fucking young he is, and y'all just keep engaging. It's a fucking pedophile server. Holy shit! Where's my team?
Is that Minecraft? Yes, I'm 15. Deal with it. Oof, I feel old. He's literally the youngest guy here. I am the youngest? Oh, he is. Makes sense. Yep, Red is 15-year-olds personified. Ha, I'm still underage. So, cause you're talking to me, you are all technically pedophiles. Not me. Yup, remember, the age of consent in Romania is 15, so I can smack your ass all I want. It's only been 26 minutes since the last time Alan brought up the Romanian age of consent. Alan would make similarly inappropriate comments about Red on the 16th of December. But let's return to October 8th. You are willing to send me the most fucking disgusting shit you have.
So, good to know that if you go to call an exfil in this game, it just spawns all the enemies literally on top of you, and you have zero chance to fight back. Cool, because they just spawned on top of me and killed me in 2 shots. It's fucking great. There's no like countdown, no warning, no chance to prepare for the battle. Just as soon as you activate it, there they are. Alright, not going to that exfil again. Fucking dumbass fucking game design.
I only send it to you because you're 15. Exactly. Nobody else would.
Wow,
I initially planned to troll...
I only send you the stuff because you're 15. Fuck me, dude.
...traumatize you because you were acting tough, but I underestimated you. Who, me? I'm not tough. I guess edgy instead of tough. I am edgy, not that tough.
I am edgy, yeah. He's your stereotypical wannabe edgy 15-year-old, and these guys are grooming him openly in the public chat, and like no one's stopping them. What the fuck?
Tough though. Yeah, I got that. I need to train you to become tough. Okay. At this point, Nux Taku or the moderators should be intervening and investigating what's happening in the DMs between Alan and Red. However, there wouldn't be any moderators or rules on the server until 2020. In late 2019, the server was raided by gore spammers multiple times, and Nux Taku did nothing about it. What finally made him appoint moderators is when his patrons pulled their pledges. This is one of his own newly appointed moderators saying it at the time. According to Red, on the first day they joined the server, Alan spammed their DMs with a bunch of gore and NSFW content. There are multiple instances of Red or Alan publicly mentioning Alan sending gore to Red. Here's one from October 6th. On October 14th, Alan mentioned showing his personal collection to Red. On January 1st, 2019, Alan actually posted a gore image into the voice chat channel and pinged Red. In February 2019...
They're not just doing it, they're like openly bragging about it. And like everyone's on board. At no point has Nux stepped in, has a moderator stepped in, nothing. Everyone is just 100% on board.
Red reacted to a meme.
Resident Evil 9 is peak horror. I thought I was starting to get numb to the horror games by playing them so much, but this game is truly terrifying. No spoilers. No spoilers. It's on my list, but look. Okay, I'll explain to you how adults and how all of you, I get it, I'm one guy fighting against the machine right now. But all of you need to do what I do. I actively refuse. I outright make a principle. I actively refuse to pay $80 for a fucking video game. That is way too goddamn much. Most of you assholes, most of you kids, I don't understand how y'all guys justify buying games at launch. Like, do you guys just lack perspective? Is it because you don't have any bills, so you just got the money? Like, I'm trying to understand how normal people, how they get this many sales. Like, where's this money coming from? Because most of you out there are working jobs where you're making $15, $20 an hour. Tops, 20 tops. That's if being super generous. What, Target, Walmart, where they start at like 15, maybe less? $80 divided by 15. Okay, 4 hours, half of one work day won't even buy you a video game. That's $60. You've still got to work for 2 more hours. So a full day's work, one whole day of your paycheck, 1/5 of your paycheck for that week is spent on a fucking video game. That is way too much to ask for one thing. That's insanity. I refuse. Especially when these games go on sale, especially games like the Resident Evil games tend to go on sale pretty quickly. Your single player games in particular, they'll go on sale pretty quickly. So, if you're gonna make this stance that we control the market, that's what you don't understand. I'm not even gonna call myself a quote unquote budget gamer. I'm a gamer who pays companies what gaming should cost. I am sending them a message when I wait for that sale. And if everybody did that, which I know is a big ass, it's never going to fucking happen, but if everybody did that, all these companies would see that, hey, no one's buying our game at $80. But when we marked it down to 40, 50 tops, but when we marked it down to like $40, like Arc Raiders, Marathon's going to be 40, these indie games are often 40 or less. When we marked it down to 40, sales skyrocketed. Maybe games should cost 40. Maybe games should cost 40. That's the answer. So if everybody did that, so I typically wait till games go on sale. I'm done buying fighting games when they come out at launch because they're way overpriced. They go on sale way too quickly. If you wait to buy the game, you get the game not only for what it's worth, but usually with all the content and the fixes, and you get a completed version of the game. A lot of these games launch with problems, or they launch incomplete, or they have their fucking content stripped out of it so they can sell it to you later as DLC. If you wait, you get the complete version with all the updates, with the completed version of the game, with all the bug fixes and all the updates and all the added content. And it's usually one low price. And if that gets bundled for $60, I'll pay that, because that's how games used to work. You used to pay $50 or $60 for a video game, and you got a full game. And it had all its content. And it had hundreds of hours of content, sometimes, for one low price. Okay, there weren't seasons. You didn't have to wait for the rest of the game to be delivered to you. You just got it for $60. And then a year or two later, you could justify spending $30, $40 on a big DLC that expanded the game. They were called expansion packs, not DLC back then, because they expanded the game. So, yeah, call me old school, but I'm still engaging with video games the old school way. I refuse to pay $70, $80 for a game. Look, if someone wants to buy it for me, I wouldn't have bought it full price. I got it as a gift. Yeah, if somebody wants to buy it for me, I'll take it. That's how I got Arc Raiders, although Arc Raiders probably is worth $40. But like when I bought Resident Evil 2, when I bought Resident Evil 3, when I bought those remakes, I bought them for like $20. Like, they go on sale. Resident Evil 9, and then if you wait long enough, usually they'll even come to a subscription service. Like, Resident Evil 8 is on PlayStation Plus now. It just got into PlayStation Plus, so if you wait long enough. So, while everybody's playing Resident Evil 9, I'm playing Resident Evil 8. And by the time 10 comes out, I'll be... So you're like one game behind. You don't have to play it at launch. The avoiding spoilers part is the only thing you have to worry about, really. Resident Evil 9 is the first game in years I bought at launch, but my husband also makes decent money. I mean, if I can justify the price of the game, if I feel that they've put enough content and stuff in there, like if you're going to charge me $80 for a game, you need to give me $80 worth of content, which is the exact reasoning that Nintendo used to justify charging $80 for Mario Kart World. They said it had $80 worth of content in it, that you were getting what you paid for. You absolutely did not. So people shouldn't buy that game. And they knew that. That's why they bundled it with the console. So that, you know, they could inflate those. They could brag about Mario Kart sales numbers, even though the majority of those sales came from the console sales. So they fudged those numbers a little bit to make it look like the game was worth $80. And thus now we have the new $80 standard right now. Isn't Nintendo the only one doing the $80 standard? It's kind of hit or miss on the other consoles, but there are some games coming out at $80. So what they're doing is like what Resident Evil's doing, where it comes out at $70, but they give you the like bonus version of the game or deluxe version or whatever for $80, and they're testing the waters. How many people will pay for the deluxe version because $80 is what they're paying for games on other systems, on like Nintendo? So they just think, oh, this is a good deal. I get to buy the game at $80 and get added content, instead of thinking, oh, I'm paying $10 extra for added content. It's a mentality thing. This is them training you to normalize that practice. This is how that marketing works. Nintendo's the one that set the standard, and the others are testing the water with that standard to slowly, over time, condition their audience to buying $80. If they see that more people are buying the deluxe version at $80 and no one's buying the standard anymore, then in a year or two, the standard will disappear. That $70 standard version will disappear, and now $80 will be the standard version, and $90 will be the deluxe version. So that's how it happens over time. Comes with a steel book. I really wanted that one, to be honest. Oh, I mean, even if you bought the digital deluxe version, I'm talking about people who are going to buy the digital version, so they're not getting anything physical when they buy that. The only thing they're getting is the added content in the game, which is skins and shit. But they don't see it as I'm paying extra for skins. See, it's a mentality thing. They're conditioning them. They are comparing PlayStation to Nintendo now, and they're going, I'm not paying $10 extra to get extra content. I'm getting extra content because I'm paying the $80 price, which is what the standard is. They see that content as free, even though it's not, because they think 80 is the standard. And over time, people start acting like 80 is the standard. Nobody's paying for the standard $79 one, and then that standard $79 one disappears. 80 becomes the new standard, and now 90 becomes the new deluxe. And that's how they condition you over time. It's all just market manipulation, and just they're training their audience to pay the prices they want, instead of the audience telling them these are the prices we're willing to pay. That's how free market is supposed to work. The consumer is supposed to dictate the price. An item is only supposed to be as valuable as someone is willing to pay for it. So the market used to dictate the price. The way companies knew how much an item was worth was by charging this much for an item, seeing no one was buying it, and then lowering the price over and over again until they find the price people are willing to buy it at. And then they go, okay, that's the maximum amount I can sell it for, and people will buy it. That's how it used to work. But now they just tell people what it costs, and people go, well, that's what it costs, and they buy it anyway. That's not a market I'm going to participate in. But anyway, just saying, I'm not going to buy Resident Evil 9 at launch unless someone buys it for me. Otherwise, I'm going to wait till it goes on sale. It's usually on sale within 90 days, to be honest with you. These single-player games usually go on sale within 90 days, so I probably won't even have to wait that long.
Mean by saying, I can take pictures of men's penises being cut in half, but this is too much even for me.
I can take pictures of men's penises being cut in half, and he showed something worse than that. Why are you allowing gore in your server on top of all the like every degenerate thing possible is in Nux Taku's server, and no one's tried to cancel this guy? Like, he just gets sick. I don't understand how he's gotten away with it for this long. Do like VTubers just get a pass? Does the anime avatar just like break people's brains and they go, well, the anime you know, anime's weird, so whatever. Like, I don't understand. I don't fucking understand. I don't fucking understand. All right, to finish out the video game stuff before we go back to the drama, it's... Oh my god, that broke my brain for a minute. I forgot what I was going to say. Holy fuck, dude. Some guy fillet of fish in his fucking penis, and that's what they're showing in this Discord servers. Okay, that's what we're talking about in these fucking Discords. It's... Ugh. Okay, I remember now. All right, so I probably won't have to wait that long for it to go on sale, maybe 90 days. The thing that gets me is these people continue to buy games at full price at launch and then complain about their backlog of games they hadn't played. Stop buying the games. Stop buying the games. You're admitting you buy them and don't play them. You're just feeding the machine. And then you complain because there's too many games out. You don't have to buy every game that comes out. Why don't you play and work on that backlog you're complaining about while you wait for the games to go on sale? And then don't buy them till they go on sale. Now your backlog gets smaller. By the time you go through the backlog and get caught up, all the new games you want to play are on sale, so you can buy even more games for the same amount of money, and these companies will stop charging $80 because now everybody's buying the games cheap. I don't understand. I rarely ever buy full price games, and I still have a massive backlog. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like there's not shit to play. I don't understand this FOMO. You're not missing out if you don't buy it at launch. All you got to do is just stop engaging with the content that would spoil it for you. Stop engaging with the channels that do nothing but spoil games, and you'll even change the way content is created so people stop clickbaiting fucking videos with fucking spoilers. Stop engaging with all that content. Stop engaging with this market. Stop giving them this money. And like, you have the power to change this as a consumer, but the new generation of gamers has been so fucking conditioned for this shit that it feels normal to them. So it does kind of feel like you're fighting a losing battle, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It may feel like a losing battle, but I'm still going to keep fighting it anyway, because maybe, just maybe, more people will get on board and it'll happen. All right. Anyway, back to Nux Taku's server is like all the worst things. Like, a normal drama, it would be bad if one of these things was in the server. He's got all of the bad things from all the previous dramas we've covered in the server, and like somehow has existed for this long without being called out. It just like blows my mind, dude.
It was a GIF and just a tip. Yeah, but
just the tip.
dramatic effect, Alan.
See, it's already affecting my brain.
Shake my head. The message below contains nudity, and if we go one message further, we can see a message from Nux Taku. Alan having a fascination with gore seemed to be pretty well known on the server. One regular user made this meme about the various quirks of the other regular members. Alan's comedic summary was, posting extreme mutilation pics. Notice that Nux Taku was pinged on this message. Sending this kind of material to a minor is very harmful and a crime, and it's been going on.
And a crime, yeah.
For 5 months, and Nux Taku has done nothing. Red would sometimes ask Alan to send him things. Send me the most fucked up shit you have. Look for it yourself. I want my friend to know you are worse than the dark web. Soyboy here is another adult user and also a small anime creator. He already knows that Red is underage. Despite this, he asks Red if he can send them something truly disturbing. Okay, Soy, send it to me. See? Come on. I expected at least nugget. If you don't know what that word means, don't look it up. Alan proceeds to drop code.
Is anybody in chat feeling brave? Want to look up what that means? I can guess. I can guess.
Codes to some extremely obscene comics. Thanks, Alan. Soy, I am extremely disappointed. Red, you scare me. That is actual animal rape and murder. I know.
He's posting actual animal rape and murder.
How is that not the most fucked up thing? Alan sent me a video of a man getting his head off by a machete. Real life, of course. Nux Taku was pinged about something off topic immediately after that message, but he didn't show up. After getting Nux Taku...
Wait. Are these times 2? Times 2. I know you guys can't see it because it's behind the... I'll show you real quick. Because it's behind the fucking... Times 2? the cosmetics are one-time use when you put them on your gun, and then if you die and lose your gun. Well, that's how they're going to sell you more shit. See? See this sneaky bullshit? See what Bungie's up to here? I don't like that. Should have known. They started doing that in Destiny too.
To create the NSFW channel, Red suggested making a Not Safe for Life channel for Alan, to which Alan said, I wouldn't make Nux Taku watch something like that. You, on the other hand, can get it. Nux Taku's nowhere to be seen, but then Soyboy mentions Toei Animation claiming one of his videos. Nux Taku replies to him with advice, once again showing how close he was to seeing these warning signs. Beyond conditioning Red into tolerating extremely shocking and obscene imagery, Alan also encouraged them to drop out of school. On Tuesday, October 9th, Red mentioned skipping school to binge-watch anime. Alan cheers them on and says that skipping school is badass, and that he's doing it as well, because he's a badass like Red.
So not only are they actively grooming this kid with porn and gore and just poisoning his brain and warming him and teaching him how to use sex toys and just actively grooming him so that he can be sexually exploited, they're also grooming the kid to go full wolf waffle and drop out of school. I'm gonna try to predict where this is going. So we get the kid to drop out of school. We teach the kid to avoid the parental controls. Then we feed the kid a bunch of porn. We feed the kid a bunch of gore. We ruin their mind and tell them it's edgy and make them think that they're cool and cheer them on. And then one of you slides into their DMs, which has already happened. And now that they're out of school, and their parents are giving them shit, and they just want to leave that house because they've convinced them that their parents don't know what's best for them, and they need to get away from there. One of these guys is going to ask this kid to move in with them. That's what's going to end up happening. Nugget is no arms or legs, just like head, torso, and parts. I was going to guess midget or child. Okay. That's not what I was expecting, but also not better. Me, dude, these guys are all a bunch of degenerates, and they're grooming this kid, and I guarantee you it's gonna end with one of them trying to get this kid to move in with them. They'll be like, "Whoa, you've got nothing keeping you at home now. Nothing. You've got no school to go to. You dropped out of school. Your parents already hate you, and they're gonna keep giving you shit. The best thing for you to do is leave. Where will I go? You can stay with me. You can stay with me. That's what's gonna happen. Calling it now."
On October 10th, Nux Taku pings various users, including Red, to inform them that he finished reading the Black Clover manga all in one day. School got cancelled for the rest of the week for me because the head teacher got so I shall be around lots. Words like head teacher and school are used by children, not college students. Another clear red flag that Red is a minor, right in Nux's face. What? Go to sleep, kid. Another clear indication that Red is a minor. Yeah, lol, 176 chapters in a day. This is 5 days before Red got Nux Taku to create the NSFW channel. If you're worried about that stabbing story, it's something that Red made up at the time. On Thursday, October 11th, Red mentions having skipped 4 days of school to binge anime. Another user
skipped 4 days to binge anime.
Cheers him on. School is a waste of time.
Yep, this is all shit Wolf Waffle has said. This is all shit Wolf. College is a scam. Oh, none of these skills I learned I'm going to use in the real world. This is a scam. This is a waste of time. Oh my fucking god, dude.
On Monday, October 15th, Red thinks about joining a VC because there's a lot of people on. But he says that school starts in 30 minutes. Alan once again encourages Red to skip school. On Thursday, October 18th...
Wow, they're just going full Wolf Waffle and telling them this is what being friends with those people is like. This is what it does to you. I'm not saying Waffle's a groomer or anything. I don't think he did this to minors, but yeah, like this is stuff he legitimately believed though. He legitimately believed that school was a waste of time. The guy who's living at home with his mom, smoking pot all day and going from job to job with no career and no future is going to tell you that school is a scam. That college is a scam. It's always those people who like, if you pay attention to where this information is coming from, does it really feel like a scam? But for some reason, people listen to them. Like, I can't make it make sense.
Red asks Alan for advice on how to lie to their parents to get out of school. Anyone here a good liar?
How do I lie to my parents to get out of school? Don't worry, kid. We got you. We got you. Me, dude.
Alan makes multiple suggestions. On October 30th, Red pinged Alan because he wants to speak to someone that he trusts. Red mentions having the problem of no longer going to school. Alan asks if they quit like a badass mad lad, once again encouraging Red to drop out of school. On December 9th, Violet asks, "Are you guys students or out of school?" Alan says he and Red dropped out. Red says that Alan inspired him. On January 4th, 2019, Red once again says he quit.
Alan inspired me. And this is the dude that Nux Taku promoted and like told people to go get, because this is the guy that paid him. We all love this guy. Okay.
Quit school. He doesn't care about it anymore. On April 10th, 2019, Red described themselves as a 15-year-old dropout. Alan showed
15-year-old dropout. Oh, they succeeded. He dropped out of high school. That's where it went. Started would convince him to skip school. They convinced this kid to drop out of school. Let's see how this ends for him.
Up and says, "Agreed." And that's coming from an older dropout. So how did
another dropout convinces someone else to drop out? Yep. Fucking domino effect. Wow.
Red managed to drop out of school? Let's go to...
At no point did this kid like ask the older dropout where they were in their life. How did dropping out work out for you? Like, how are you doing? You know, like, are you rich and you can afford to drop out? Like, what's your circumstance? No, nothing? Okay.
February 2019.
Just no homework, no due diligence. Just take this rando in a Discord who's dropped out and told you it's great at his word and ruin your life because of it. Cool.
Red is talking to Bex, who seems to be having some form of breakdown caused by opiate withdrawals. Many of Beck's messages actually mention them being addicted to drugs, spending all their money on drugs, and having various mental illnesses. Please keep that in mind when passing judgment about what I'm going to show next.
Oh God.
Might be overly cautious here because YouTube does not like when certain things are discussed, such as SH. And in this exchange, knowing they're in the presence of a minor, Bex explains how it works and basically makes it sound really cool. Red mentions...
Yeah, that's right. SH is really cool. So is rape, guys. Rape and sexual assault is really good. You should do it. You should drop out of high school and sexually assault girls. You don't need a girlfriend. Just take it when you want it. Holy fuck, dude. Just the amount of poisoning they're doing in this poor kid's mind.
Having used SH to manipulate their parents into letting them quit school.
Oh, SH is self-harm. Sorry. Oh, see, it's so cool to harm yourself. You can do it to manipulate your parents. Oh my God.
Really? That's impressive. Red expressed that they felt like a terrible person for doing it. How it
iDub said rape was good. I want that clip. Post it in the Discord.
Felt, and they mention only doing it twice.
We ain't gonna do an iDub segment this stream, but I've got some stuff planned. We need to do a catch-up on iDubs. It's coming.
To which Beck says, "Psh, imagine only doing it twice. I decided to stop before I couldn't."
They're making a competition out of it. Holy fuck.
Real sad boys have on their thigh.
Real sad boy. This is like incels bragging about the pussy they don't get. Holy shit.
Red then reveals that they built their upper arm a lot of times. Bex comments, "Ooh, nice." Again, this was a very irresponsible way to...
I'm gay. I miss green suit iDubbbz.
Talk about these things with a minor. I don't have any experience or knowledge of how SH works, but Red claims that this needle stuff apparently happened way before they joined the server, but they claim that it was not enough to cause the effect, which makes SH addictive. Based on their comments from back then, there was clearly a unique sensation there, but again, I don't know for sure. The
unique sensation is the manipulation that you get to do to people by harming yourself. And that's clearly what this kid has done, is he has used self-harm to scare his parents into manipulating them and getting what he wants.
Claimed that the first time they did it for real was on October 31st, 2018. They had a fight.
So they started with just threatening it, and then eventually they had to escalate because the threats no longer worked.
with their family, which led to them dropping out. On the day before...
And it led to a fight with his family that led to them dropping out because they'd get in a fight with their family, they'd go to this Discord for advice, and they'd give them the absolute worst possible advice, which, yeah, it just spiraled then. So this is how it happened.
Red asked Alan for advice on how to get over their fear of the pain of SH. I'm not sure if Alan is jokingly suggesting that Red should try flipping, as in juggling knives, or if he should try using a folding.
Flipping. So they're juggling knives and it has a name called flip. These all sound like the kind of TikTok trends like you'd hear about on the... There's a new TikTok trend called flipping. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, dude.
Knife, and he used the word flipping by mistake. Red seemed to interpret it as a suggestion for a type of knife, and asks if he could use a kitchen knife. If you cut yourself, you'll realize the pain is pretty whatever. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. If we scroll...
Wow. So they did. They encouraged him to go juggle knives from your kitchen. Which, first of all, jugglers, professional jugglers, like when they use dangerous stuff like knives, etc., they usually use like a special kind of knife that's safe and balanced and, you know, flips in a certain way that it always like lands a certain way to make it easier for them to catch. Like, they're not just picking up a knife from their fucking kitchen.
Scroll down a bit, we can see the exchange where Red asked Alan to talk about the problem of no longer going to school. They hadn't actually dropped out yet. That would happen soon after the 31st, when the SH first occurred. Red would eventually develop an addiction to it.
He got addicted to harming himself. How do I clear out this room so I can go in it?
February 2019, we can see Red mention that he talks to the least people in real life on the server. I have talked to 3 different people in real life in the last month. 5 months after joining the server, they've dropped out of school, they are self-harming, and they've become socially isolated. Despite Alan constantly behaving in an inappropriate, abusive, and downright criminal manner towards Red, Red perceived him as trustworthy. Red saw Alan as a good friend, bestest friend, and the reason why they haven't committed... We have already established that the odds that Nux Taku didn't know that Red was a minor are super low. The further we looked, the more examples we saw of messages that must have been in Nux Taku's line of sight that would indicate to any reasonable person that Red is a minor, or that Alan is sending some weird stuff to him. Nux Taku was also familiar with Alan. They've talked a lot, he's mentioned him lots of times, they hung out in VCs, and he gave Alan a shout out on his channel. But did Nux Taku know about the other part of Alan's reputation? Check this out. On January 16th of 2019, Alan posted a bait-and-switch video into the general chat channel. The thumbnail shows a naked woman, but when the video is played, it switches to a video containing stuff like this. Despite the warnings given by other members to not look at it, Red can be seen giving their reaction to the video. You can take that as a corroboration for my testimony of what the video is. Violet said that Alan should be banned. Nux Taku was then pinged because Alan did something bad. Nux shows up and says, "Wow, didn't see that one coming," and he then leaves. He took no action. He didn't delete the video or punish Alan or anything.
Yep, so Nux showed up, acknowledged it, so he can't pretend he didn't know it happened, and then did nothing about it. Cool.
Again, that was January of 2019. Nux Taku would still have Alan on the Rant Cafe podcast in July and August.
And next, we also, believe it or
And he's still talking to this dude. Just brings him on board. Holy shit.
not, have Alan Weebus himself.
Bring him on.
Sorry, I'm the replacement for Animac Forever. He's dead now. I killed him. So you're gonna have to get accustomed to my presence from now on.
Despite everything that was happening for months, Nux Taku publicly endorsed this guy and presented him to his audience as this harmless, funny troll guy. When I asked Red about these old messages concerning their personal situation at the time, they said it was the beginning of probably the darkest period in their life. The good news is that they stopped self-harming in 2021. They went into a dropout rehabilitation program and they are now working on their university degree. To clarify some things, I reached out to Red because I saw their post on the Discord from years ago. They didn't reach out to me, no one tipped me off about them, I discovered them myself. I haven't conducted
Okay, so he actually reached out to that kid and talked to him then. Okay. Wait, does that count? Can I exfil while downed? It says I'm spectating myself. But I'm that's not me. Does it not count? Can I not exfil while downed? Because that's going to suck. You can do that in Arc Raiders like every other game. But it's acting like leave crew and continue running. Did I die?
any in-depth interview with this person. I would just send them questions every now and then and laid out this timeline and asked for their thoughts. They described it with the words,
No, I exfiltrated. Well, why did it make me... Okay, that's weird. It did a spectate thing like I died.
all of that is accurate to my knowledge. They don't remember anyone at the server really recommending them to seek help. When I asked about how they felt about Alan's behavior, they recognized that it was inappropriate towards a 14-year-old, but they don't believe he had any sexual grooming intention or meant what he was doing in that manner.
Marathon is an extraction shooter? Yes. It's an extraction shooter.
They also mentioned
That we are entering the age of the extraction shooter. No more battle royales. Everybody's going to chase Arc Raider's success now, so... Yay. This is going to be the next big thing. Get ready for a lot more extraction shooters, guys.
Alan being very troubled at the time, which, based on Alan's messages, assuming he isn't lying, seems to be true. Based on the logs I've shown, it's tempting to conclude that the influences that Red was exposed to through Nux Taku's unmoderated Patreon Discord server led to them dropping out of school at age 14 and getting into SH. The timeline laid out by the messages and by Red's testimony does support the idea, but to actually determine if that's the underlying reality would require further investigation. However, regardless of the actual consequences, allowing people to encourage or praise this kind of behavior in the first place is already insane.
Yeah, you shouldn't be allowing this in your server. You shouldn't be, like, encouraging it or looking the other... Even so much as looking the other way and trying to pretend like you didn't... Like, none of this is acceptable. There is no form of this that's fucking acceptable. Call of Duty extraction mode next. Call of Duty already did an extraction mode, and then they canceled it because it didn't catch on at the time. They absolutely will be trying it again. I promise. That is what's coming next. But they already did it. It was called DMZ. It wasn't, to its credit, it wasn't bad. I liked it. But they just stopped updating it and then quietly killed it.
Is clear is that Red was repeatedly exposed to extremely obscene...
One of the big things I think that killed it is the fact that they locked it behind a paywall. Like, you could only access the DMZ mode if you bought Modern Warfare. So it was in Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Or 3, one of the two. If not both, but they killed it during 3 because it wasn't getting as many players. Well, it wasn't free. If they make a free DMZ mode, then... What's up, Brandon? If they make a free... If Call of Duty does remake the DMZ mode or bring it back, if they make it free, it'll probably do well. It unironically will probably do well.
NSFW content and gore on the server, and that Nux Taku made the NSFW channel because Red requested it, and then accepted more money from them. If Nux Taku was too busy to moderate the server properly, it's not like he was totally unfamiliar with the concept of moderators. If he was, the 16th message on his Discord server was a user recommending him to designate moderators, to which Nux...
Wow, so his community even said, like, dude, you should probably moderate this shit. So there's your confirmation that he just didn't even attempt to moderate this shit, nor did he care.
Responded, indeed. One of the basic...
And he agreed with them, and then still didn't moderate the server.
Responsibilities of a Discord server operator is to make sure that children are not exposed to adult content on their server. By allowing Red on the...
It's direct from Discord. Discord telling you what your expectations are for running your server. They give you the freedom to run it, but then they give you TOS. So I don't understand how he's not banned yet. This sounds like violation of TOS.
Server, and allowing them to be exposed to all of these harmful influences. Based on my estimation, Nux Taku made $46. Not only did he...
And he did it all for $46 fucking dollars. I'm done. This dude needs to be banned. I'm fucking done. This is why I don't let my kids on Discord. And you want to know, where are the parents? Well, I'm doing my job. I don't let my kids on it. But if we're being honest, There's nothing I can do to stop them. There really isn't. I can keep my kids off Discord, and I can put parental controls on every device in my house to keep them off. Fine, that's what I'm going to do. But also, I can't, like, hold them prisoner at home. They're going to go to school. Some kid's going to whip out their device after school, or, you know, sitting in the recess or at a lunch table. They're eventually just going to get access to this shit. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, it's just going to happen. I'm very aware of that. Quick question. If I want to split the payment on a game on either Steam or PlayStation, will it let me split the payment or no? I'm trying to use my gift card as well as pay with the rest. It should. I've done it before. I know you can do it on Xbox, and I know you can do it on Steam. I don't know about PlayStation, but it should. Like, if you've got a wallet balance, yeah, I've done it on PlayStation. If you've got a wallet balance, you can, I forget how to do it. You might have to do it on the website. You might not be able to do it on the console itself. You might have to do it on the website, but there's an option. Most of these stores have an option to use wallet or, you know, gift card, whatever they call it. Use that balance first, and then it'll pay the remainder with whatever your default payment is. So you should be able to. My kids will have no social media until 16 minimum, but they will though. Like, let's just fucking be realistic. My kids are fucking 12 years old. I don't. Like, you have to give them a phone. I was going to do the same thing, make them wait until they're 16. But they're getting to the point where they're leaving the house and they're doing all these extra school curriculars and they're going over to friends' houses and they're playing in the, like, you're going to give them freedom. What are you going to do? Give them freedom and not give them a phone? Of course you're going to give them a phone. My kids roam the neighborhood. I'm not going to lock them in the house. They're going to want to roam the neighborhood. They're going to want to play with their friends. And even if I didn't give them a phone, their fucking friends have phones. They're going to get exposed to it. Like, it's just going to fucking happen. The only way it doesn't happen, phone doesn't equal social media. But it fucking does, though. You can block it on their phone. I have parental controls on my kid's phone. Sure. But they have friends. One kid they know is going to have an unrestricted cell phone. They're gonna get exposed to it. Not to mention, there's no age restriction on just buying a burner phone. They can just go to Walmart and fucking buy one. You can get a burner phone for like $50. It's not gonna take them long to save up that much money. Like, my 12-year-old babysits for extra money. She could have $50 in a week and go buy a burner phone if she wanted. Her friend could give her an old phone when they get an upgrade. Like, it's an impossibility. It's an impossibility. They will be exposed to it. It is not an if, it is a when. And there's only so much you can do to control it. The only way you can keep your kid away from this shit is to pull them out of public school and homeschool them, and then don't let them have friends, don't let them go to sleepovers, don't let them do extracurriculars, don't let them leave the fucking house. And that is an unreasonable ask. You're going to do more harm than good with that one. Your best bet is to just tell them about social media, explain to them what the dangers are, and hope that they make the right decision. Hope that your training overrides their friends' pressure. I know that we laugh at this YouTube drama. But if you want to know, like, everybody says YouTube drama is pointless and blah, 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 it's just entertainment. It's useful. If you want to know how I've taught my kids about the dangers of Discord and the dangers of social media and how bad shit can get, I've showed them videos like this. I've showed them YouTube drama videos. I've showed them Turkey Tom videos. I've showed them Nick Andrews videos. I've showed them this stuff. And I've showed them, Schlepp's Roblox videos to explain to them why I don't let them play Roblox and why it's dangerous. And I've been successful. Not only do my kids not play Roblox, and all their friends did, they've convinced, my kids have been a good influence on their friends and convinced them to stop playing Roblox and play Fortnite instead. They have gotten all their friends off Roblox and onto Fortnite. So my parenting affected other people's children. Like, that's what you have to do. Trying to shelter them from it won't work. You can give them the education and you can try to parent, but the truth be told, parenting in the year 2026 in the age of social media is a shared responsibility. It is not 100% on the parents, nor is it 100% on the social media platforms or the influencers like this. This responsibility is shared amongst the parents, the platforms, and the people and the influencers that control these communities on those platforms. It's a shared responsibility. Each one has their role to play, and if one of them drops the ball, they should be held accountable for dropping the ball on their role. Influencers should be held accountable for how they run their service. Discord should be held accountable for the stuff they allow on their platform and don't ban. The same thing with Roblox. It should be held accountable for its moderation and the kind of games it exposes kids to. The creators of these games should be banned if they create a game that damages children, and the influencers who encourage kids to play these games should also be banned and held accountable for sending kids to it. And the parent, I mean, there's only so much you can do when it comes to something like Roblox. The parent's job would be to use parental controls and to monitor their kids' content. But as a parent, your job is to use the information given to you. So when you go to buy a video game or to buy a movie or to buy a piece of media, it's going to have a rating on it that tells you what's in it. The parent can't then be held responsible if, in the case of something like Roblox, you turned on parental controls, but parental controls let your kid play Roblox because Roblox told the parental controls that the game was safe for kids 10 and under. But it wasn't. So the parent did everything they were supposed to do, but the platform lied about the content in its platform. They should be held accountable. If Disney started putting fucking penises and sex scenes in Disney movies and they got rated G and told parents it was safe, no one would blame the parents for that. They'd hold AMC accountable for showing the movie. They'd hold Disney accountable. They'd hold the ratings board accountable for giving the movie a wrong rating and not actually moderating that content. Yeah, like it's the same. Social media should be held to that same standard. I don't understand why everybody's brain understands how that process works when it comes to everything except social media. No, they do understand. They're lying to you. Jesus fucking Christ. That's the type of sheltering the Jilmas would think is realistic, and it's only because they don't have kids. Yeah, these are there's two kinds of people who have this take. There's the Jilmas, the Ian and Anisas of the world, who are childless individuals who just don't understand what it's like to actually raise a child. Theirs is coming from a place of ignorance. And then you have the Nux Takus of the world who are predators. And yes, I'm calling Nux Taku an actual predator because he has predators in his community and he supports and promotes them. And promoting a predator makes you just as bad as a predator. I'm lumping you in with them. So the people defending it should instantly throw up a red flag. Best case, they're ignorant and don't have children. Worst case, they're predators defending their predatory actions. I'm choosing no personal social media until 16 because their cousin who's 12 has already been hospitalized 3 times. No, I'm not saying that you should allow it on their phones. I'm just saying like you still need to do the educating them about it thing because you can't stop them. You can regulate their use of it. True. Like my kids they've got parental controls on their phone. They can't download Facebook. They can't download TikTok. They can't they can't download Instagram. They can't download Discord. They can't get on these social media sites on their phone. But I know every day they go to school, some kid's going to show it to them. They're going to have a friend at school who has a phone that has this on it, and they're going to hang out with that kid at lunch, and that's going to be their access to it. Now, I've limited their access to that small window of time when they're with that friend, but the point is I can't 100% keep them away from it. I'm very fucking aware of that. So I still teach them what these platforms are like, and then they kind of go into it now that their friend is showing it to them. They go into it knowing that I've already showed it to them first, and I've showed them how bad it can get, and then they watch their friend use it, and that's how my kids convince their friends to get off Roblox, because turns out some of those videos that Slep has where he mentioned some of those games that kids were getting groomed in, turns out their friends played some of those games on Roblox. My kids recognized them and went, "Oh my God!" Yeah, and they managed to scare their friends off of Roblox. So that's all you can do is teach your kids to be the good influence and not the bad. My children are disabled and are already super vulnerable. I'm still educating them on it. They just can't personally have it. Yeah, that's all you can do is educate them, explain to them why they have those restrictions and why they won't be allowed to have it until they're older. My kids totally understand. They've even helped other kids get off of stuff like Roblox and transition into more big kid games like, you know, Fortnite instead, because Roblox just feels like a little kid. Just age appropriate stuff and help them like move on. Like it's that's all you can really do. So my goal is that my kids will understand when they're allowed to have social media and why they have to wait. And the goal is that by the time they get to that age, they're ready. And they'll know they're ready and they'll understand why. So, I mean, it is a parent responsibility thing to a certain extent, but like I said, it's a shared responsibility. The platforms aren't, like, it's not 100% on the parents. You can't just blame the parents all the time. Anyone who's going, where are the parents? Where are the parents? Are either childless or predators who are victim blaming. It's one of the two.
He failed to carry out that basic responsibility. He made money from neglecting it, something which would eventually become a core element of his success. If you remember, the Chris Tyson server closed its NSFW channel in January 2019, before the server went public. Nux Taku's Patreon NSFW channel is still open in 2026. There is no age verification process, and anyone with $1 can join in. The channel hasn't
Wow, it only takes $1 to groom a kid. Me, dude.
Had a new post since 2024, but it was still active when Nux Taku was casting judgment on Eva Tyson. It's probably good to point out that Nux Taku and Eva Tyson were both born in 1996. Tyson in July and Nux Taku in February. Nux Taku is a few months older than Tyson, but he was making demonstrably worse mistakes at the same age, and continued to make those mistakes for years afterwards. There is no evidence for Tyson ever grooming anyone on the server, but her career was still destroyed by the controversy, something which Nux Taku cheered on. And with that, I conclude the first part of our dive into Nux Taku's history. In the next part, I'll show the dishonest ways in which he has defended his past content to his new religious right-wing audience. An audience that he has attracted by saying stuff like this.
Banning our books!
Okay, so this first part was just how how dangerous him and his server are for children, which is how he became popular. Now he's going to explain how he exploits their religion too. How the fuck is this guy not banned yet? But anyway, this is his preview of what's coming in part 2.
They're firing!
They're not banning your books. They just don't want them in schools teaching children and grouping them. There's a big difference between banning books and not wanting to show sexualized, pornographic, grouping material to kids.
Oh, he's going to highlight the hypocrisy. Because now he's going to play the grift of I'm trying to protect the children while actively grooming them in his Discord.
There's a big difference, actually. This dude is like, I cannot believe they are banning our porn from the schools. All I want to do is show sissy, hypno, transgender porn to 7-year-olds. And society does not let me. All right, so you have the interracial gay couple.
Those moves.
Raising a kid.
For your...
You said both of those things like they were bad, and neither one of them are. I'm half of those things, not the gay half.
2 biggest fans.
And this is a boy in a tiara and a skirt.
Not that there'd be anything wrong with that.
I'm telling you, it's grooming. It's so obviously grooming. It's so
What about what happened in your Discord? All right, we're saving this for part 2. Hold on.
obviously grooming, man.
Dear students growing up with free thoughts and with critical thinking and not being indoctrinated into their beliefs. That's the biggest fear of fascists. And
You literally have a pedophile flag on your shirt.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this?
Bitch, you literally have a pedophile flag in your background and you're wearing a nose ring. What are we talking about? Why would anyone ever take you seriously?
It's gonna be fun. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, and he's gone full homophobe. Homos are the real predators, guys. Not him. Not the VTubers. It's the homos you gotta worry about. Oh boy, I can't wait for part 2.
And share the video if you enjoyed it. Oh, and of course, congratulations on your
Go sub to Nick Andrews. This video is amazing. This guy puts in the fucking work, guys.
30th birthday, Nux Takus.
That was fucking diabolical. Listen to this. That's some shit I would do. To throw that little snarky line in at the end. Listen to this shit.
It's gonna be fun. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you enjoyed it. Oh, and of course, congratulations on your 30th birthday, Nux Takus. See you later.
Shots fucking fired, dude. That ending was perfect. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your 30th birthday, you fucking groomer. Nick Andrews is the fucking man, dude. Oh, but I promise you this would be the topic of the evening. Witches. And it is the topic of the evening because the VTubers are just going all in on proving that it's not that Nux Takus isn't the exception to the rule. That these VTubers, not all of them are degenerate, but stereotypes exist for a reason, and a lot of these VTubers probably are degenerate freaks and groomers. And here's one of them defending Nux Takus in the absolute worst way possible. I did not watch the entirety of this video. I didn't watch their video. Well, I watched some of their video. I didn't watch the entire of it, but Harmful Opinions has covered it and is going to break it down for us so that we don't have to watch the whole thing. Because I think the whole thing is, the whole video is like an hour and something long. Like, I don't want to watch the whole thing. Like, this person just kind of loops and keeps reiterating the same points. But Nick Andrews is going to break it down for us. 2 people watching me and you, hell yeah. The 2 people on this platform. I'm multi-streaming, bruh. All right. Anyway. Let's get this pulled up, and then I'll jump into another match here. For those of you who actually give a fuck about this,
there's going to be a hefty
marathon gameplay. Nick Andrews and Harmful Opinions. These are 2 guys who put the work in. Harmful Opinions is a lot more aggressive than Nick Andrews. Nick Andrews just kind of gives you the facts, but yeah. 3 people, 4. It's about 6, 7. Okay, whatever. All right. Anyway.
Intro on this one, boys, but I'm sure someone in the comments will provide a timestamp if you want to see where I start looking at Leaflet's comments over and over
which, by the way, I don't care if no one's watching. I'm still gonna make the content because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I don't look at the viewer count. I don't know. Could be 3, could be 4, could be more. I'm not gonna click on each and every one of these little dashboards to add them all up. I don't really give a shit. I make most of these get turned into YouTube videos, so I just record them live. All right. Anyway,
response to my last couple of videos in comments and elsewhere, I see people very upset that I'm blaming Leaflet for this stuff that was done in her Discord. I feel there's been a misunderstanding. I said Leaflet should have...
As we learned from the Nick Andrews Nux Takus video, it's a parent's fault. It's not the Discord owner's fault. Like, they're not responsible for what happens in their Discord. That's a ridiculous standard.
Address it. I didn't say answer for. I didn't say...
You better not talk. You better not talk no shit. I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk all of the shit, and you are not going to be able to respond for 24 hours. Have fun and time out, dickhead. There you go. I'll talk all the shit I want. You don't like it? Go to someone else's channel. This is mine.
Be punished for. I said it's something I'd like to see her address, as in give attention to and fix. In my first video, I showed an example of someone who said.
These fucking children, man. Shouldn't you guys be in bed? Why do y'all keep coming in my fucking chat? Immediately talking shit. And then get mad when I talk shit back. Oh, okay. Fucking pansies, man. Your generation is so fucking weak.
Says they're 14 and 15, repeatedly talking sexually with other members in a mixed-age Discord, having attention drawn to them over and over and over again, and being allowed...
Yeah, so he's recapping what we just watched on the Nick Andrews video.
...to remain. When they were finally banned, it was only because of pressure that was kept up by the people who wanted this kid gone. And I made the suggestion of simply banning minors. To quote myself, I said, your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids
Which is
on
reasonable.
Site.
Just
this wouldn't
ban
even
the minors.
actually be a new policy. It would be a rollback. You can see in 2021 that they used to do this. They used to get rid of any kids they knew about. So this is originally an 18+ server that at some point...
So, alright, so this is the server of the person defending Nux Takus. And yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see some similarities in their server and Nux Takus server. Why are we all dying so fast?
they decided to open up to kids. I don't know when exactly or why, and my obvious suggestion is to go back to that. I don't think that's too crazy or evil or unfair at all. People have talked a lot about what I'm trying to do to Leaflet. What I'm trying to do is get her to do something like that. Listen to what I say in those videos. Doesn't matter if you can say it's not my fault if what you're doing is letting everything go to shit. That's my repeated argument. I think what I'm suggesting is quite clear. Now, many people in the comments have argued that I can't suggest Leaflet do anything about this, because she's not the owner of the server, it's nothing to do with her. And Leaflet can be seen in there saying, I literally do not own this server, did you know that? She said that a few times, and in 20...
wait, I thought it was her server. Like, isn't it her community server from her stream? So who owns it then? Or is she gonna play like some fucking semantics game where she's like, well, actually, Discord, the company owns the server. I just get to use it, or some bullshit like that.
2025, you can see her saying technically it's a fan server. And
so the fans own it?
Many people have told me her server is the Patreon one. And this is a common source of confusion. The server I've been looking at is Leaflet's official Patreon server. One of my little minions went to Leaflet's Patreon.
Okay, so you went to her actual server. Let's see how this differs from the fan server.
Buy into the £8 or the £39 tier, you will be granted Discord access and Patreon exclusive channel access. When you use the link that Patreon gives...
And what's in that Patreon exclusive channel?
...gives you to get that Discord access, it is this server. If it's true that she has no power over it, I think she probably shouldn't be selling people access to it and access to channels within it. Another interesting thing...
So, it's a fan server, but it's one that you give people access to if they pay on your... Oh, okay, that sounds like bullshit.
Note. While people point to Leaflet saying she's not the owner, and they say the mods run it, none of the comments or messages I've read say which one is the owner. Other people like Gibbs on Twitter and KF have done similar with other tools as well, but I used a better Discord plugin called Permissions Viewer to take a look. And it turns out that the mod who has the owner role is someone called Asari Mitsuha. Leaflet fans will certainly know who this is. For people not familiar, Leaflet's main channel isn't Leaflet, it's Leaflet and Asari. This is the other half. This is Leaflet's mother. This is who the plugin identifies as having the owner role. It also identifies Leaflet herself as having admin privileges, and she has made a unilateral stand against behavior in her server before.
So is that the cope? That it's her mom's server? Then it's your server! Your mom runs it. It's like, this is like a kid inviting someone over to their house and going, you want to go to my mom's house? When you're a child, it's just your house. Like, no 12-year-old's like, you want to go over to my mom's house? Like, are your parents divorced? No, mom and dad live together, but I just live with them. That's not how that's viewed. And no, I don't believe that your mom made and runs a server for your community, but doesn't give you any responsibility over it. You're definitely the one in charge, and your mom's just helping you. This is semantic bullshit.
Regarding an uptick in people saying slurs about trans people, Leaflet stepped in to say, I'll just say it myself, even though I'm not the owner of the server. While discourse is allowed and appreciated.
So she's just hiding behind her mom. So that's what's happening.
Please be chill about it. We welcome civil discussion, but we do not welcome slurs or direct personal attacks. Discussing cultural or LGBT stuff is fine, but using it as an opportunity to throw slurs around instead of facing the cultural argument itself is unacceptable, even to me. You have the freedom to say these things, but I have the freedom to not like it and to not allow it in our private community. And you can say it somewhere else because I want a place where discourse is based on the content and logic and not on personal insults.
So she has that power over the server she doesn't own. But she holds no responsibility over the server because she doesn't own it. No one's falling for this shit, right? Like, that's not what's happening?
It even says if people are too off the rails, they'll have to make more rules. My plea to Leaflet is, you also have the freedom to not allow kids. Your friends, fans, and people who just generally like you can make all the excuses they want for things that happen as a result of welcoming minors with open arms, and your mods being flakes. Would it not be better to simply not have to make excuses at all? Just a kill on site policy. When your users beg you to ban an underage user, and they ping the mods in, they see that the person said it, right click, ban. Instead of umming and ahhing over whether the kid is posting hornily enough for that to be a problem. Just get rid. I can't make you, but given what I was shown and then what I saw myself, it would be remiss of me not to suggest it. Hopefully this clarifies things. I don't normally like to dumb it down this much, but it seems necessary in this case. Now I'm going to cover a couple other things people have said in response. A lot of people didn't like that I explained the ooh-oh post and what that means. I explained because I think most people aren't familiar. So I showed this person explaining that ooh-oh is what they say when they see what lolicons call cunny, young characters. Young or small or childlike characters. And they say there's no problem here because there isn't a real child involved. Now they could be lying, but they said this multiple times and were consistent.
Yeah, and I hate that too. Oh, it's not the same because lolicon's not real children. No one's really getting hurt. That's not the point. That's not the point. It's not that no real children are getting hurt. It's that this shows that you have a interest in children. And how long is that interest going to be just cartoon children before you get tired of looking at the fake ones and now you want the real fucking thing? So how long? How long?
They said,
it's a red flag.
Alright, since I'm 13, I'm maybe good for now anyway, Zam. I don't think it's good for adults to be hanging out with 13-year-olds doing this ooh-oh cunny shit and talking together about the cartoons they think are hot. Do you think that's fine? How many 13-year-olds do you chill with in a little chat room and discuss pictures?
None 13-year-olds. That's how many I chill with in a fucking chat room.
You find sexy with? Wouldn't it be better if that wasn't happening and a place wasn't set up for it to happen by
liking lolly? Yes, red flag. Instant fucking red flag. I can't even pick up the credits. Are you kidding me? Why is that not a separate thing?
Welcoming children. But it's not just the arrangement of the server that causes problems when allowing children. Your mods are a problem too, and their issues range from lacking the capability to deal with the responsibility of running a server that allows children, for instance just brushing off someone acting the way Black was, while claiming to be 14 and then 15, but it goes all the way up to being concerning, like the mod Precure, whose address I just found. Just kidding. Precure says they like being in these videos, and I thought I'd give them a startle. Did you enjoy that?
Shots fired. See, he's a snarky, like, our opinion's a snarky little bitch. I like it though.
One of the people I pointed out in my first video, who I'm glad to have the scalp of, they were banned, had claimed in the server to have sent a thigh picture to a mod.
Oh, his last video got someone banned. Good. Good. You're doing the Lord's work, Harmful Opinions. Keep it up. Get rid of these fucking freaks.
Who had been pursuing them. They said it was to try to calm them down, and they said it was clothed, but obviously, hell no. Right click, ban. Someone says that in your server, they're gone. You don't need to investigate it, beyond confirming that they were making those claims. Precure Hunter, the person who banned them, argued that the adult is the one getting groomed. I left out context. I wanted to see who would instinctively jump to immediately defend this. Say it's okay, say it's a joke. Not check themselves, just, in their gut they feel like this is fine and needs to be defended. Who is like that? The answer is Mama Oko.
Kind of feel like that's just another joke right now. I've observed the server myself, because I've been in the server. I've been, just sitting in there for months.
And it's another fucking VTuber. Of course it is. Let's listen to the degenerate shit that this one says.
At this point, I never look at it. Is that just feels like another joke, my man?
As I show more examples, Mama Oko becomes increasingly certain that it's all a big joke, that the mod was saying this to troll me. They in fact have counter evidence that I suppose they're upset I didn't include. You see, they have evidence that the child was asking for it very aggressively. Someone asks,
oh, well, I had to groom the kid. He was asking for it, guys. What is this logic?
Precure what they're trying to prove.
Oh my gosh. He's taking this at face value so hard. Oh my gosh. Chat, I'm autistic as fuck. And
That's not an excuse. I'm so sick of that shit. Oh, I can get away with doing degenerate shit because I'm autistic. Fuck off. That is not an excuse. Also, you're probably not autistic. Everyone can't fucking be autistic. Dude, this game. PvP where I die in 3 fucking shots. But it takes me 30 fucking minutes to heal.
Sometimes I can't tell when somebody's fucking with me, alright? It's happened.
That doesn't make you autistic, it just makes you stupid. Just makes you socially inept because you stay all day at home, terminally online. It just means you need to touch grass to learn how to read the fucking room. Also, sometimes I can't tell. Some people are just a hard read. Jesus, fuck, I hate these people.
More often than I would like to admit. Alright? More often than I'd like to admit. Okay? But I can tell right there that he is intentionally f***ing with him. That's what he's doing.
Mama Oko had been told earlier by the chat that Precure said they were deliberately trolling for attention. He left that as a big if true, instead of simply doing a 2-second search in the server he says he's in. Precure did say they wanted to get my attention and wanted to be in the video, but those posts were like this. I guess they win in the end. Their extended discussions of grooming ethics are not part of that. But before I show you those, Leaflet herself went on to Mama Oko's stream to defend this mod and respond to the situation in general. Leaflet talks about the Discord server not being hers.
And you had already told me it's not even your server. Was it started by you, or how does that work?
I can clear it up real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
Yes, please do. How is it not your server? I need to hear this logic.
it's a server, like it's a fan server for the community. I don't get a vote in like who moderation. I don't do any moderation on it.
Interesting. 12th of the 2nd, 2025. I don't personally get involved unless it's just an easy ban, says Leaflet. I don't normally involve myself in Discord since I don't run it, but if I catch you using slurs in a bad faith manner, I will personally send you to the Shadow Realm. 30th of the...
What is a good faith way to use slurs? Just curious.
6th, 2025. Don't post needlessly edgy jokes. It can get the server in trouble. Fair enough. I do the same with Twitch chat and stuff. So I'm going to have to time them out / remove them, says Leaflet.
Like I don't actually do any enforcement action at all.
If what I showed was the last time you were doing it, that's only been true for barely over half a year.
In fact, like the funny thing is when it comes to like there being younger people on the server, I said like just nuke all of them. Like I don't care, right? I don't care about that.
Oh, I just don't care. Haha, let it happen. Turns out when Leaflet said it's the parents' fault, she was literally talking about her mother, the mod. This.
You know what? I think I will watch the Leaflet video because I feel like he's just glossing over like some of her worst offenses possible. Because from what I've seen, she just continually like everything's the parent's fault, but she's leaving out the fault that her parent is a mod in her Discord. The mod that's allowing this stuff to happen, by the way.
This is bullshit. Grow a spine. You're happy to earn money off of it directly as your official Patreon server. You should also be happy to not let insane shit happen on it. Getting rid of it or actually ditching it is also an option.
I don't really have anything to do with like which channels get added, or any.
That's my mom. Whoops, gonna leave that part out. It's the parents' fault. Where are the parents? Well, we know where your parent is, in your Discord server helping you groom children.
Anything like that. Really.
3 days ago, your mod Crazy claimed otherwise. I don't have any control, just the authority to demand a channel stays, and the ability at any time to revoke your blessing and association. The claim that you can only make suggestions when you do have the power to force them doesn't mean anything. Leaflet then confirms that her mom owns it.
But did you start it, or people are saying that your mom actually owns it?
The reason my mom owns it is in case that we have.
Okay, so her mom does own it, so we know where the parents are when it comes to her parents. We know where her mom is.
It's to protect from like a crazy mom. Okay, so
nothing to do with me, it's my mommy. Sorry, how old are you? Me, it's my mommy.
That's the VTuber. That's the model. That's the way this person chooses to represent themselves to the world. But they don't want kids in the server. They're not trying to groom kids. All of this stuff is designed to attract children. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Sorry, how old are you?
I'll explain this. There's been a lot of drama in the Discord in the past. And it's to protect. It's so that so my mom doesn't do anything either. Like she doesn't do any like moderation or anything like that.
She doesn't do any.
So she's admitting that her mom not only owns the server, but just refuses to moderate it. Okay.
Moderation? What did your mother mean 10 days ago when she said, banned that guy? 4 days ago, when she responded to a mod ping that was just a meme?
It's only in case that way we can give the ownership to like a different person.
Yeah, my mom's the owner. She doesn't moderate except when she does, and she's only the owner so that she can make someone else an owner.
In case there's like a crazy it's like an ultimate contingency of like if the mods go out of control, we can like retake everything and give it to a different person. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. That's
No, that doesn't make sense.
called being the owner of a Discord server. That's
Yeah, well, it makes sense if you're the owner, not your mom, I guess.
called having the final say. That's called being in charge. They chit-chat and Mama Akko says he'd just ban minors, you know, to avoid problems. Yes, that's my videos. Correct, that's the point. Leafly explains her server's moderation culture.
I guess what I would say is the mod culture on our server is we don't ban right away. Like we have a very like our policy on banning stuff, and like you can maybe make the argument that like this
sounds like y'all don't ban ever.
Should be a case in which like the person just gets automatically banned, but we are hesitant to ban people.
Sorry, we? Anyway, no, not people. You're hesitant to ban kids. I watched your mods not exactly be hesitant to holocaust a bunch of people they were suspicious of. You guys are hesitant about certain bans.
Why?
Because of it's because of reasons of people getting brigaded or like censorship or anything like that. Like we kind of want people to be able to talk and be more comfortable.
I like to let people talk too, but what video was Mama Akko just watching before you hopped on? What was that about?
So that might be, maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. But
When it's someone who says they're a kid wilding out, certainly yes. Leaflet says again, it's their culture, it's how it is. Mama Akko, for some indecipherable reason, finds this to be incredibly valuable information.
See, what's interesting about that is I feel like people would have found that out if they had maybe asked.
No, I know. I watched it happen. My videos about that. They do. Do be hesitating. The people coming to the UK say it's just their culture too. They see about Nicandros' tweets for a while and yap about a bunch of other stuff. They do a whole bunch of Nux Taku sweeping. It's actually crazy. And then they get on to mentioning my video. Leaflet decides to complain about a visual gag.
which was like the thing about the I'm banning him because he's anti like pedo. Right? And so like they showed that part of it first to like seed that in your mind and then showed the context after.
It's called a joke, sweetie. Musk owns Twitter now. Comedy's legal again. If you
and, comedy might be legal on Twitter, but they still don't like it.
Show the context, it changes it. Yeah, I showed the context, dipshit. You've successfully explained the joke. If I hadn't, sure that would be a problem. But I love how that is treated like some kind of Israeli psyop. While Nux Taku EPIing hundreds of thousands of kids is just, whatever. It's me who's seeding things in people's minds. Leaflet then tries to argue that what Precure said was a joke.
Like that. There are a lot of them are like that. And it's kind of like he's trying to make a point that...
So this person has a tell. You can tell when they're lying or when they're bullshitting because they hesitate with their words. They trip over their words. They don't say it with confidence. They have a tell. This person is about to lie to you right now. Listen for it. They're nervous because they know that what's about to come out of their mouth is a fucking lie.
And it's kind of like he's trying to make a point that if you're like he's making a joke basically that because he's like this and then he's also talking to them, he's probably projecting. So he probably is actually a PDF, right? And then
this is called projection on their part. They're doing the asking for a friend. They're going to project everything that they're going to accuse this other person of. This is 100% projecting. But, you can't call it that because, no, the other person is projecting. That's what I'm pointing out. No, it's you. It's you.
That was the whole joke.
Unfortunately, Leaflet, Precure has already addressed this, and it was not a joke. Nine, who was being silly and just showed the start of the gag, asked, "What did you mean by this?" The mod explains their whole statement. Basically,
oh wow, they even fucking spelled it out for you.
If he was super pro-ped or anti-ped, then I knew he had grooming on the mind, and wouldn't make that mistake honestly. Presumably referring to sending the picture. If he had never mentioned lollies or anything like that and he was retarded, then it's plausible that he could have made that mistake. Precure justifies spending time to seriously think about this. The drama was basically a necro post, and the kid had already been banned ages ago, so it's not like it was time sensitive, and I just wanted to be thorough with my options. And one of the most—
Oh wow. So they were just replying to an old post from a person who was already banned. We got real people over here.
It's obvious and basic things to do whenever you are in a he said, she said, oh my god, he said, she said scenario is to at least give each side the benefit of the doubt. I understand how many statements could be taken as just a joke, not seeing it in this one. This is the mod of a server that welcomes children, giving benefit of the doubt to someone who claimed they sent an image of themselves to a minor who was pursuing them sexually. Mama Akko further defends it by saying it's a shit post.
Harmful. Why do you have to act like me when I don't understand a joke? Bro, it's very obvious that this man is shit posting right now.
Leaflet elaborates and says that Precure statements are old internet humor.
Yeah, we just have a lot of like stupid humor. It's like kind of old internet people. Old internet folk, and we.
A little bit later, they talk about what they think me and people like me are.
Like these people are basically modern day journalists. It's not really like that surprising.
Well, they definitely try to imply a lot of things and do a lot of these things. To try and paint a narrative, and
I'm being quite direct. I think that server is an inappropriate environment to welcome children into, and Leaflet's mods are inept. Maybe if you clear house and get better people to run the server, you could keep having kids in there. I wouldn't recommend it though. If you keep these people in charge though, you definitely need a policy of banning minors on site. I mean, even Precure thinks that's obvious. A little bit later, Leaflet and Mama Akko suggest I should have tried to interview everyone involved.
I just don't understand that. Like again, when I covered, I'll just like say my own shit. When I made the Cinder video, I didn't tell anybody this, but before I started working on the first Cinder video, I DM'd almost every single person involved and asked them if they wanted to talk about it. Nobody ever got back to me, sadly. But like, if I had the ability to say, hey, Shy Lily, can you answer questions about this? Or hey, Bao, I understand you're hurt about this, but can you talk about this? And if they had given me that opportunity, I would have done it. I would have done it.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it would have made Cinder look. I would have done it because I wanted to get it right.
You're trying to find the truth, right?
That's my goal.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Interview is indeed a tool one can use. My coverage is of what occurred in a Discord server and whether that's acceptable or not. Interviews in this case would be of no value to me and would have no bearing on what I observed. This is like a toddler's understanding of journalism. Not that I would consider what I'm doing to be journalism. If you're concerned about right to...
See? It's called being humble, Taylor Lorenz. Even harmful opinions can do it.
Reply. The owner of the server I've commented on has access to a massive platform, and I am currently presenting your response where my claims were made. If you want to actually discuss journalism, we can talk about something called doorstepping, if you'd like. But I think you'd suddenly be against getting comment from involved parties. Leaflet makes an interesting claim.
The weird thing is really what they're advocating for, and I mean, you know, maybe it is the right idea at this point. They're kind of advocating for an actual like ID system for Discord. To be honest, like where could it go but that, if that's what you want?
This is a bizarre statement. A key part of my coverage, and in fact, the ending of my second video, is advocacy against overly invasive measures. An explanation that negligence like this is what enables it to happen. If parents aren't looking after their kids, and other adults aren't willing to do the bare minimum, then where else can we go? There is an alternative. You could do the bare minimum. Leaflet and Mama Akko.
Yeah, it's not a big ask.
Then do exactly what I said leads to government involvement and private corporations clawing at your data.
If you don't want to hold like parents.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like they all hate that Discord's like wants to ask for your ID as a fix for this. Well, you're the reason they're doing that. Servers like yours are the reason why they feel the need to ask for people's ID, because you can't be trusted to run your own fucking server. So that's the answer. Like, you don't want them to ask for ID. Fine. But you still want to run your server the way they do, and you want to hold Discord responsible because it says 13 up. The responsibility is on the parent. How do you fix this problem? How do you fix this problem of minors getting into the server and this shit happening in servers like yours if you can't be held responsible, but you also don't want Discord to ask for ID? Okay, because that was their solution to the problem. So if you're telling them that their solution isn't good enough, what's your solution? What's the alternative? Because you always say it's bad, but you never offer an alternative. Well, I mean, the alternative is that you take responsibility and you run better servers, but that's never going to happen. So what's the actual alternative then? How do we fix this? Because I don't want Discord to ask for IDs either. But I'll be the first to admit, I don't know how else you do this. And I I hate how bad Discord's become. So, I mean, if the solution is to minorly inconvenience adults in order to keep minors off the platform, well, then I guess I'll be inconvenienced. And those adults who don't want to share their personal information, oh, I don't want to share my ID because spoiler alert, everybody's already got your ID and information. It's already fucking out there. Governments are hacked all the time too. Like, your ID's already in a bunch of places. But fine, if you're one of those adults who doesn't want to do that, just don't use Discord anymore then. Find another service. The point is, those of us who do want to use Discord, we now have a safe space away from, children are safe on the platform now. You can keep children away from these spaces. Yeah.
Is being responsible for it, then I mean, I don't know how you do it other than that.
Online safety legislation is the government.
Yes. Government stepping in to do the job when the parents don't, or when the platforms don't, or more importantly, when you don't, as someone who runs a Discord server. Yes, government legislation is the only way to force people to do shit. So you don't like that stuff, well, you have no one to blame but yourself. I have no sympathy for these people.
Holding parents responsible. It is the government saying it's the parents' job and they haven't done it, therefore we get to step in.
True.
Same principle for any attacks by private companies.
Well, holding parents responsible is definitely the option that I think a lot of people are like, oh, but why should the parents...
No, they should. They need to. It is wrong that they don't do that duty, but they don't do that duty. So, what do you do about that? The government's answer is...
Exactly. What do you do about that?
We do that.
Also, people like Pro Jared won't accidentally sex minors. Oh no, there was nothing accidental about what Pro Jared did. He openly advertised it to kids, which is the same thing these shitheads are doing. They've all just found ways to try to hide it. Oh, I'm hiding behind my mom. It's my mom's server. Blame my mom. Just literally ready to throw your fucking mom under the bus so that you can have minors in your server. Like, I don't understand. Why do you have to have minors in your server? Why? Why is this something you have to do? Like, what's the benefit? I don't even understand the benefit in having an NSFW section to your server. Why do you need to know what other people in your community are jerking off to? Do you guys jerk off together? Like, is that what's happening in these servers? Do they all get in like a video call and just do a big fucking circle jerk? Like, why do you need to share your porn with other people? You don't need to know the porn I watch. I have zero desire to show the porn I enjoy to my friends. And I definitely don't want to watch porn with my friends, with my straight, cisgender, white male friends. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't understand the need to do this. And it's always these VTuber or art community people that have these fucking servers. Because it's intended for NSFW art. Oh, we just want people to have the freedom to draw what they want. But that's not what ends up getting posted there. You know it, I know it, and the kids who flock to your fucking servers, that's why they flock there. Because it's a free place for them to find porn that isn't blocked. Because parental controls don't block Discord. Because Discord's labeled 13 and up. The truth will come out, and they can't say it was an accident anymore, but that's the thing. That's what we're watching right now. The truth has come out about Nux Taku. He's saying it was an accident, or he's playing ignorance and he didn't know about it. This person's server, she defended Nux Taku, and now they found her server and found out there's just as bad shit in hers, and she's, oh, it was an accident. I didn't know it was happening. She's doing both. She's doing the, well, I didn't know it was in there. My mom was in there, and actually it was accidental because we don't moderate it, and this, there's always an excuse. Just don't have that in your fucking server. Just don't do it. Like it's very simple to not have an NSFW section in your Discord server. I don't have one in mine. It's very simple. Just don't do it. There's no reason to do it. Unless you're making money off the fact that children want to watch porn, which is what they're doing. They're just making money off the fact that children want to watch porn. Fuck me, dude.
Job instead. When people point out that parents should be doing this and they don't, they never provide a way to fix that. A little bit after that, Leaflet elaborate.
Can I not buy a fucking shield?
No,
but as a parent, you have the final control over everything that happens to your kid. And that's my point. When I said that, that was the point of my tweet. And it wasn't even really about the Nux thing. The tweet was actually completely, I wasn't even thinking about like that specific situation when I said that. It's just when I was thinking about all of the stuff that people were saying, it made me think like, man, we could solve all this if parents just actually took care of their kids.
Cool, Leaflet. How do you make that happen? If you do not provide an answer after saying that, your position is actually let it happen. If your position is
Yep. That's exactly what her position is, and that's exactly what she's doing.
that bad things are happening and parents should stop it, and you stop there, you are making an excuse. Also, I personally don't want to be surrounded by nonces, even if there aren't any kids around. I think that...
I know what a nonce is. It sounds like one of those British terms. Keep forgetting that harmful opinions is a Brit bonger like Chud Logic. What's a nonce? What's a nonce? You know what? Why am I asking chat? See, this is all these guys running these servers got to do. Is just ask the question. Okay, Google. What is a nonce?
A nonce is a number used once in cryptography and security to prevent replay attacks or ensure data uniqueness. In blockchain, it's the value miners change to find a hash that meets a specific difficulty target. Would you like me to explain how nonces work in Bitcoin mining?
No, we're good. I have a feeling that that's not what they're referencing. Google's not going to give us the slang version. I guess I have to Urban Dictionary this shit later.
That's a problem. How does parental supervision solve that? Leaflet then seethes about Nicandros for an extended period of time, and having complained that I didn't ask to talk to people, she complains that Nicandros asked to talk to her. Make it make sense. She then continues to seethe that people are asking her about the Nux stuff.
Because when I said that parents should be responsible, I never said solely responsible.
That's true of that.
Oh, okay, so we're playing the fucking word game thing. It's another thing that they do. This is the same thing that Snarker did when I debated him, is they play the fucking semantics word game thing. We never said I was a snarker. Yeah, but your actions said it. Yeah, but I didn't say it, so I'm not one. Oh, I never said they were solely responsible. It was very heavily implied. It was very clear from this person's video that I'm now realizing we should have watched first because he's not showing the clips I thought he would show, that this person is 100% blaming the parents. They would spend about 7 minutes blaming the parents, and then at the end put something on. I mean, some of the responsibilities on the platform too, I guess. And then they'd move on to the next 8 ways to blame the parents. It was very clear that it's a term for pedo. Ah, okay. British term for pedo. Got it.
One tweet, but she's been talking about this for quite a while. In her commentary on what happens to kids online and whose responsibility it is, and why restrictions are being put in place, she has in fact said,
Like, dude, this is all the fault of people not taking care of their kids.
I didn't say they were solely responsible. It's all the fault of people not taking care of their kids. So parents have all the fault, but they're not solely responsible. It's a fucking word game bullshit. I hate this shit.
This is freaking ridiculous. If you fuck up your kids, that shouldn't be my problem.
They yap for a while, and Mama Oko says,
I didn't fuck up my kids, though. You did. You fucked up my kids with your Discord server. That is your problem. I didn't fuck them up. They wandered into your Discord server, which Discord told them should be safe for kids 13 and up, and then you fucked them up by showing them things inappropriate for kids, 13. That's on you, bitch. You fucked them up.
What we're asking for is for parents to do more than what we see that they are doing, because parents are just literally handing technology to a kid and saying, go wild.
And how would she...
I mean, true, sure. Parents shouldn't do that. But also, that doesn't absolve you of any responsibility if the kid does get access to an unfiltered phone. Let's say the parent didn't give it to him. Whether or not the parent gave it to him, it doesn't really matter. The kid got access to your server and you allowed them access to this stuff knowing they were in there. That's still on you. I'm sorry, that's still on you. Why can't they just ban kids? Problem solved. Fucking exactly. Fucking exactly.
Make that happen. She never, ever suggests anything. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, and they don't give a suggestion on how to fix it. I mean, the answer is obvious. Don't allow kids in your fucking server. I mean, yeah, parents should use parental controls and should do everything they can, but you can't prove if that particular kid's parents did or didn't. Every single minor in your chat, You don't know if their parents gave them that phone that they're using to access your server, or if they stole it, or if they're using a friend's. Like, you don't know what their situation is. You're assuming it's the parents. The one thing we do know for a fact is that the stuff in your server that they're accessing is inappropriate. So it sounds like the easiest way to deal with this is to just make sure that they don't have access to your server. It's for you to not let them in there.
That either. That's why I talk about what can be done instead. The government has an answer to this request too. It's legislation. These people love to...
Yep, and people want to avoid government legislation if at all possible, because you don't want the government in your personal life. Okay, well then the alternative is Discord takes over. And that's what Discord offered to fucking do, was to take over. And Discord offered to take over and do age verification. And you all lost your fucking minds. And you bullied them into not doing that. Great, cool. So now Discord isn't going to keep itself safe. You're going to make excuses to not keep your Discord safe. So guess where this ends? Because even if all the parents in the country did their fucking job, these kids still have ways to access it. There's ways to bypass the parental controls, which, as we saw in Nux Taku's server, they were actively telling kids how to bypass those parental controls and telling kids to drop out of high school. So it doesn't fucking matter. They'll still get around it. The parental controls aren't going to be perfect. Why should all of the... And that's another thing. Like, how can you, in one hand, say that the parents should do more, but then put all of the responsibility on the creators of... the parental controls? Like, at what point do you take blame? All right, so if parental controls aren't the answer, and government intervention isn't the answer, and Discord doing age verification isn't the answer, then what's the answer? Because the answer is, the answer is obvious. You should take responsibility. But if you're not going to do that, then what's the answer? What's the answer that doesn't end with you taking some responsibility? What's the actual answer? They never fucking give one.
Complain about that happening while literally asking...
Because the actual answer is it's their fault. That's just the actual answer.
Asking for it. Solve this. Solve this. This needs to be solved. They're doing it. Later, Leaflet talks about the people who are talking about her.
And see, this is my dilemma now, right? My dilemma is... Your
dilemma is you got caught, and how can you get out of it? That's what's happening right now.
Do nothing so that they seethe, or do I farm them for content?
Allow me to present option C. Enact a policy of banning minors from your Discord on site, or get better mods.
That's it. That's all you gotta do. Pretty fucking simple. But there's no money to be made in that. And that's what this is about. It's about this bitch making money.
I kind of feel like just not giving them what they want is probably better.
I want you to...
What they want is moderation. What they want is for you to not groom children in your server. Jesus.
Instruct your mods to ban minors on site or get better mods. Why wouldn't you do that? To own me and people like me? Seems insane. But okay, if you wanted that to happen, you could make it happen.
Why would I argue with them? Why would I entertain any of their arguments? Why would I watch their thing when...
Because weird shit happens with kids in your Discord, and your mods don't deal with it properly until they're forced.
It's
I can't believe this has to be spelled out for you.
So clear what they want.
I want you to ban minors or at least get better mods. I don't know how much clearer I can be. I thought it was pretty obvious from the last two videos. I'm not being presumptuous. This is a stream where Mama Oko just watched them. They talk about sitting down and having conversations with people, and Leaflet says...
Yeah, I mean, that's how you actually solve problems, right? Like, is it about solving our problems, solving our differences, or is it about getting, like, some kind of, I don't know.
It's about not grooming children in your server. It's about children being safe in your server. If you're going to allow children in there, then you have to keep them safe. If I drop off my kids at a daycare, it is that daycare's responsibility to keep them safe. I can't drop my kids off at a daycare in real life and come pick them up when I get off work and then be injured or missing a fucking limb or something, and then I go to pick up my kid and ask what happened, and then the person at the daycare just goes, well, where were you? Where was the parent? I was at work. I dropped them off with you. Like, come the fuck on. This is not how anything works in real life ever. Why should this be how it works online? This is retarded.
Community to...
This person is 100% a groomer just making excuses for their grooming.
Pat you on the back.
It's actually about getting you to fix your shit, because someone told me about it and it's all f***ed up. If I've messed up and I've missed something like this happening on my stuff, I would want to know so I could break the legs of everyone involved. Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah! It's reasonable!
A little while after, Leafly expresses her sorrow at the change in the kind of person she has to deal with.
Because like a year ago, I was definitely a lot more willing to talk to people, and I was a lot more willing to like engage with, you know, these kind of bad faith people.
If I'm making these suggestions...
Oh, we're bad faith now. Yeah, because blaming you is bad faith.
And pointing these things out in bad faith, it doesn't change whether my suggestions are good or not, does it? Why?
True.
Why does she not want to make things better? In the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it. That does mean I win. And I'm doing this for Hassan Piker, so that means Hassan Piker wins. But why isn't it the right thing to do?
They're not trying to communicate. They're not trying to like have an honest conversation. They just want to hurt you for their benefit.
Yeah.
I want you to fucking ban kids or get better mods. If that hurts you, something's really wrong. You don't even have to say
true.
It's 18 plus. You just have to enforce it. When you say it's 18 plus, it can give the impression that certain things are allowed that aren't, and the little retards will out themselves thinking it's okay to, and then you just bop them. There you go. There's one way to do it.
I guess moving forward here with the Discord, my only thing would just be to be like, listen, there's minors in there. You probably should just cheat them.
What the fuck?
It's not my server, so obviously, and it's not your server, I guess. So, you know.
So you were given the suggestion. Oh, but it's not her server either, so I guess there's nothing she can do about it. Yeah, because she's just going to keep leaning on that. Wait, but the server owner's your mom. So just ask your mom to do it.
They can do whatever they want, but I would just suggest, to avoid future videos like this, just get rid of them.
That's what I said.
Yep. Seemed pretty fucking obvious to me.
Look at it. Your life could be a lot easier if you just nuked kids on site. I'm going insane. Yes, this is the whole point.
Yes, I'm going insane too, brother.
Of what I'm saying.
What we're considering is like something along the lines of you either have to be on Patreon.
Patreon's a 13 plus site.
Yes, that's the same thing we went over with Nux Taku. It's inherently an 18 plus server because you have to be subscribed to the Patreon to get in. You don't have to be 18 plus to subscribe to somebody on Patreon. You just gotta be 13 plus. Kids have access to credit cards. Oh, whoa, they have to have a credit card. What do they do? Steal their mom's credit card? That's how they do the age verification. It's a credit card. Credit cards aren't age verification. Credit cards aren't age verification. You go to fucking Walmart and you can buy, anybody, including a fucking 13-year-old, can go to Walmart and buy a prepaid credit card.
Site. An age gate is applied to 18 plus creators, but if you're not in that category, your solution is to get more money and still allow kids. It's 2026. Minors have debit cards.
Or you get like a really
crazy easy
expensive
to
channel
get.
point reward, and that like actually gets you access to the server.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that would be the play. Like
That'll help with ban evasion. It won't help you with the kid stuff.
I don't know.
True.
But in the end, I'm gonna talk to you know, Julio and Precure Hunter and Crazy, and probably just ask them what they want to do with it.
I know what Precure Hunter wants. Get rid of minors on site.
They've said this. They've told you what they want to do. You're just not fucking doing it.
Genuinely losing it. They then have an extended discussion about stuff that won't really help that much with their problem, and Leaflet
This bitch is trying to piss on your leg and convince you it's raining.
gives a life lesson about how people make mistakes.
People will make mistakes when it comes to things like, is that like a complete indictment of their character that like, oh yeah, they love pedophilia because they made a mistake on their Discord? Like I don't really think that's even remotely fair.
I just want you to
what? Just don't let the minors in. That seems pretty fair to me and obvious.
Fix your shit.
No, I would agree. I think unfortunately these days people are just so apt to quickly making snap choices. And again, I think it would be solved if people did more talking instead of just more being ready to poke and prod.
Lynching.
Lynching, yes. Lynching, definitely.
Yeah, I got that person who said they sent a minor thigh pics in your Discord lynched. That's sick, and I'm proud of it. Leaflet then talks about leaving it up to the mods.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to how they want to do it. Like, I'll ask them like what they want to do. Like, I can give suggestions, obviously, but
you can give orders. You own the server. I'm sorry, your mom owns the server. So you and your mom, it's a family server. I'm sorry, your mom owning it still means you own it. You just give the order. They're your mods. They're gonna listen to you. You don't wait for them. That's how chain of command works. You're at the top. Orders will go down.
You can also lay down the law. You've done it before. When people were saying the word Troons, you stepped in. I showed it earlier. Just do it again now.
True, you do it when they insult you, so why can't you do it when they post porn?
My first video, I called you spineless. I stand by that.
Everybody's kind of flying by the seat of their pants. They're learning as they go.
Leaflet, as I showed earlier, your server originally banned minors. You went backwards. You do that and or deal with your mod.
Okay, so we're watching these out of order. I didn't realize he did 2 on her, and this is the newest one. So the first one must be where he showed that she just continually blamed the parents, and then she eventually, like, she originally banned minors, but then she realized if I let minors in, I make money by giving them by letting them have access to porn, because that's what the minors are paying for. They're not your fans. They're not there to see your fucking content. They don't care about your VTuber avatar or what the fuck ever. All they care about is the goon material you allowed in your fucking server. You're essentially selling porn to minors. That's why they're there. They're there to buy the porn. They're there to buy the porn, and you're a fucking porn peddler. You're providing it, and you know that. This is all for money. You're selling porn to minors for profit.
I'm just going to say, nice. What I've seen going on in your stuff is insane. And we'll get back to that in a bit, actually.
And I think these people, they have no grace. They expect...
You deserve no grace. You've been given it already. We're way past that point.
Absolute perfection from everybody, and that's not realistic to how people are.
That's what you expect from the parents. You're putting all of the onus on the parents. You're expecting absolute perfection, that they can monitor their kids 24/7, even when they leave the home, even when they go to school, and even when they go to a friend's house, that every single parent can monitor their kids 24/7 and make sure that they, and, you know, screen every little piece of content that they look. You ask the impossible of parents. You see how that feels? It feels so good when someone does it to you now, does it? Prick.
I don't personally consider expecting mods when they're alerted to get rid of someone who says they're a kid and talking about fertile femboys and breeding to be perfection. What the f*** are you trying to pull?
Maybe they'll grow up one day and learn that.
Hey, you'll have a lot more grown-ups around you if you ban kids.
I'm used to being the least mature person in the...
Yep, if you ban kids, and you're used... If you ban kids, guess what? Then everyone in your server will be an adult, and you'll be surrounded by adults. It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
Room.
Believable. Hang on, maybe Leaflet does need to be destroyed. Anyway.
It's kind of such a weird shift to, like, everybody around me is being like a freaking child.
Yeah, because you welcome them to your Discord server, and your mods won't take appropriate action unless pressed. A little bit later, Mama Akko says something good.
Moving forward, if somebody says they're 15, I personally just wouldn't give them any quarter.
Yeah, good.
I mean, I feel I'm not perfect.
Sure, my first video was about this shit happening repeatedly with mods being pinged. I'm not perfect either. Maybe I fucked up somewhere. I want to know so I can fix it. But I've decided to be a public figure, small as I am. So if someone wants to point that out with a video, and especially if they want to point out because they've seen there's resistance to doing the right thing, and they want to force it, fair enough. First example I gave in my first video about an interaction I found unacceptable, I literally said maybe mods didn't know about it, but it's still a problem because the server is set up to facilitate it. I don't think that's too crazy.
I would hope that if somebody sees somebody claiming to be a minor, they would ping me in my mod chat.
Great. And Mama Akko, from what I watched, was generally on board when I made suggestions along these lines-ish. Mama Akko knows what's right, but he's a pussy. He wants to keep his bridges safe. He's going to be soft, even when he knows what's right and wrong. That is gross. If someone's going to drop you because you don't just go, well, you know, it's not up to me, it's not up to you, why do you want to be connected to that person? You talk about other people being clout goblins, look in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm fine with I'm fine with Operation Hazel Nutella and just nuking all of the minors out there. I'm like totally fine with that, personally.
Then do it. You did it for trans people. You can do it for kids.
No, but it's really up to, you know, again, it's up to what they want to do, how they want to handle it. They have their own ideas for how things should go.
Hello, Earth to Leaflet. Here's Precure. She then says,
and if I could tell them what to do, then it would actually be my Discord, right?
You can! You absolutely can.
The problem there, we've seen you making decisions, and your mod Crazy,
thank you,
3 days ago claimed that you go above their head to make decisions. You are not as hands-off as you pretend to be, and they then wrap up. Now there's been a lot of talk about getting rid of minors or not. And that distracts from another issue I alluded to earlier. Precure's suggestion to ban on-site for minors is good, but if you don't do that, Precure is a problem. You say it's jokes, you say it's bait for me. I don't buy it. This person cannot be a mod in a server that welcomes kids. Let's talk about Precures. Actually, it's about ethics and grooming. An adult got groomed by a minor because he was too retarded to listen to people when they told him to just block the minor, asks Norlax. Precure responds with a nodding gif. We have posts by the minor in this chat of them being sexually aggressive unprompted. They share a post by the person who said they were 14 and then 15. This is from the minor, soliciting the adult. And that was less than a month since the minor had joined the server. Not seeing the joke.
So in less than a month. So the children come in there to... So they're just victim blaming now. Actually, the child groomed me.
Can you explain it? I think it's kind of weird as well, but the adult was pathetic enough and the minor pushy enough that it's not unbelievable. Prowls Madras steps in to say,
this is fucking pathetic.
I think the important things to notice here are minor and adult.
Thank you!
Only one of those can really be at fault here. Minor can do wrong, of course, but just ban and move on then.
Thank you. Gee, this is victim blaming. Actually, I didn't molest that child. The child came on to me. Okay? Okay? The child pressured me. What?
The mod says their ages aren't actually that different. It's like...
Oh my god. It's like 14 versus early 20s. That's that's it's at least half a decade. What? It's almost a decade. If you're going early 20s, that could be, 22, 23. It's almost a decade, man. They're not that different. Fuck off, dude.
Like 14 versus early 20s. Yeah, legally it would be the adult's fault, no matter what. But
you take out the word legally, and it would be, and just say it's the adult's. It's the adult's fault. It's the adult's fault. Period. It's the adult's fault. 14 pages.
Morally, they both seem to be at fault. Proudle Madras responds to the no matter what message and says, exactly. You can do what you want, but I would suggest that you stop painting the minor as the aggressor here.
Yeah, that's a bad look, even if it's true.
Even if it's true. Whew. The only one who can truly be at fault here is the adult, and that's that. It doesn't look good when you talk about the minor being the baddie. I can only speak for myself, though.
What do you mean you can only speak to yourself? You didn't need to put that last part. Everything you said was true. That's just how it works. The minor cannot be the aggressor. You're the adult. You're expected to be the adult. Don't let a child groom you. You're expected to. There's a reason the saying is be the adult in the room. Holy fuck, dude.
Why can't anyone have any conviction? It's sad. Precure Hunter
says, no one's responsible for anything ever. Even the adults.
I care more about the truth.
It's the mentality of this entire fucking community. There is zero accountability from anyone ever.
Than the law. Prowzel Madras responds, I can understand.
I care more about the truth than the law. The truth is, if it's against the law, don't do it. It's wrong. You're at fault. That's the truth. The truth is, if you break the law, you get punished. You're at fault. I don't care about morally or legally. That part shouldn't matter. Holy fuck.
Understand that. I'm just saying.
The fact that this guy's having to argue it too. Holy shit.
It doesn't look great. I understand that the minor must have been a creep and definitely did wrong, but putting any focus on the actions of the minor does not look great. That's all I'm saying. Later, my second video is uploaded. And Precure.
The fact that it took him that many times to explain it. Holy shit.
What talks about the situation so far to someone who wants a quick run.
All right, here's our recap. Here's their version of the recap.
And within that, they say that in my second video, I'm talking about their logic not being good enough because they said it's possible that the adult was groomed by the teenager.
Hold on, I'm gonna read the whole fucking thing. The story so far. Nux had some Discord drama that's apparently related to child grooming, and we're already downplaying first fucking sentence in. I don't know much about it. Then why are you recapping it? What? Leaflet deliberately decided not to engage with the drama. No, that's not what happened. She made a video talking about the drama and deliberately decided not to engage with Nick Andros' video that had all the proof, so that she could have plausible deniability while she talked about the drama. So that when people pointed out the proof, she can say, look, I don't know much about it, but I'm going to keep talking about it anyway. That's what happened. That's how this started. This angered people on Twitter or elsewhere. The anger came from her not engaging with the video, not from engaging with the drama. If she had not engaged with the video and not engaged with the drama, just not brought it up and talked about something else, no one would give a shit. It's the fact that you chose to engage with the drama, but then didn't want to engage with any of the facts surrounding it. You approached it like a conspiracy theorist. You were sweeping. That's what people are mad about. Very obviously so, by the way. And did a piss poor job of it, too. Leaflet kept doubling down that she's allowed to not have an opinion. But she continually stated her opinion. Her opinion is the parents are all at fault. Like, she just continued to restate that opinion. It's most likely overstated in bad faith. How? And that she doesn't need to watch the video. Why? They targeted this Discord server looking for dirt on it, and they found it. Crazy how that worked out, isn't it? The best they could do so far is a situation where the 15th watcher sent clothed thigh pics to a teenager at the behest of that teenager. Look at how we're downplaying this. Look at how we're fucking downplaying this. These are the people who interact with your children on Discord. Okay, these are the people who interact with your children on Discord. And the worst part is, these people will one day be the parents allowing their kids onto Discord. Will it be the parents' fault then? Or do you think they'll blame Discord? Just saying. The shoe will be on the other foot eventually. For some of them. God willing, none of them will be allowed to have children, but I'm sure some of them will. During that, Julio was overly conservative about banging the teenager. What do you mean overly conservative about banging a teenager? Holy shit, you're a fucking pedophile. This is pedophile speak. I'm sorry, pedophile might be the term that you don't like. You're a map. Are you a card-carrying member of NAMBLA? What the fuck is this wording? That's all presented in Harmful Opinions videos. That must be the last one he's talking about. This is his response to that. I watched the video and looked into it and found that the situation to be less clear-cut than people were making it out to be. Are you going to explain how? Nope. No. They make claims and show nothing, while Harmful Opinions makes claims and shows proof, while Nick Andros makes claims and shows proof. Where's theirs? Where's your counter to any of this? I eventually banned the 15th Watcher because the preponderance of evidence was that he wouldn't want him here even if he couldn't verify precisely what happened. I don't think you know what preponderance of evidence means. Harmful Opinion made a second video about my logic not being good enough because I said it's possible the adult was groomed by the teenager. That's not possible. That's literally impossible. People from Kiwi Farms also got interested and are talking about it in Nux's thread. I'm sure they did. And the stuff they're going to dig up is going to be is going to make Nux's is going to make Harmful Opinions and Nick Andros' video look like nothing. Those Kiwi Farms people are fucking freaks.
Within that, they say that in my second video, I'm talking about their logic not being good enough because they said it's possible that the adult was groomed by the teenager. They say they banned 15th Watcher on the basis of a preponderance of evidence. You should have banned them because there is a message from them saying they sent a minor their thigh, clothed as it was, because the minor was pursuing them. No need.
You don't need a preponderance of evidence. That's all you need. That is all you need to know right there. You don't need any evidence or anything from it. That is inappropriate on its face. If this person is weak enough to be groomed by a minor, they don't need to be in your server. Also, the minor doesn't need to be in your server. If the minor is targeting adults, if I'm being as charitable and good faith as possible, and I believe you, and I say that a minor came into your server targeting adults, well then you've got some weak-willed fucking adults in your server. They gotta go, and you've got a minor in there targeting adults, so the minor's gotta go. Doesn't matter which one you blame. The end result should remain the same. Both of them gotta go.
Need for weighting probabilities or legal jargon, you say that, you get whacked. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe the pick wasn't that bad. No, you ban them. And they elaborate, stating the real problem with someone like me. The real overarching problem here,
oh, he's gonna read it,
though, is that people don't like dealing with people who are undecided or entertaining unorthodox positions. Like, it's obviously inflammatory to think that the child was grooming the adult, and if you by definition think that it can only go the other way, then you'll bristle strongly at the mere suggestion of that.
If you, by definition, think. So you're admitting that's the definition of it, and you're saying if you agree with that definition. Yeah, that's how definitions work. That's... Like, this isn't an opinion thing. This isn't like arguing over what anime is. Okay, this isn't an opinion thing. It's written in law. Like, legally, this can only go one way. A child cannot groom an adult. But if you groom a child, you go to jail. So it doesn't matter. Even if you believe it can go both ways, the end result is still the same. There's no risk for the child. So it's still the adult who gets in trouble. The end result will always be the same. If in these situations, the adult gets in trouble. Doesn't matter what definition you believe in, what your opinion is, or what you think. Whatever your justification is, will not matter. There's only one way this ends. If you're an adult and you start having sexual shit with a minor, you end up on a fucking list. That's the only way this ends. Okay? It's not open for interpretation. Full stop. That's how it ends.
They're memeing, yeah? This is just a meme, yeah? Haha, 4 chains. Then they explain the reason for ban that I showed you earlier. Kitty Des amongst that says, pfft, you think the underaged aren't the ones who are uncontrollably horny? You gotta pry them off each other with crowbars.
Yeah! They're going through puberty. They probably are uncontrollably horny. That doesn't mean you can have sex with them. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean you have sex with them. I was just helping the teenager fulfill their need, officer. Yeah, tell that to the judge. Let's see how that works out for you. What? What is the logic? These are all pedophiles. This is an entire Discord of pedophiles. Everyone defending this shit should be on a fucking list.
Sure, teens are hormonal, but we're talking about moderating a Discord server where minors and adults interact. Precure responds and explains that their comment about age was not a joke. Yeah, that too. That's why I said it's not like it's an 8-year-old comment. If you're sending pics to an 8-year-old, then obviously it's grooming. If you're sending it to a horny...
So we're putting an age limit on grooming now?
Teenager that specifically requested them, that's less obvious.
No, still just as obvious. Do you know what you do if a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old or someone going through puberty asks you for sexy pics, clothed or otherwise? Do you know what you do as the adult in that situation? You say no. That's what you do. It's very simple. It's very simple.
It was literally just about how plausible each story would be. Prazel says, but again still a minor, and Precure responds, of course, but if you have identical moral considerations for a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old simply because they're both underage, you're living in a fantasy world that doesn't actually exist.
Nope, that world exists. That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. If you are 25 and you have sex with a 15-year-old, you are put on a list. If you are 25 and you have sex with an 8-year-old, you are put on the exact same list. The only difference is how much time you spend in jail before you're allowed to turn to society. You're still on the list, though, in both scenarios. What the? This person's a fucking pedophile.
We're talking about banning someone from Discord for being a creep. You don't have to measure which fraction of a ban you give them. Just hit them. No need to hesitate or wrestle with the philosophy of grooming. You nailed them eventually, but you were struggling. People chit-chat and the precure ends up...
Well, good. At least they eventually fucking banned the person. Banned the minor. And hopefully the adult, too. I think he banned both of them.
Talking about the
Yeah, that's one of the problems with age of consent in general. I don't think people understand what age of consent is. I don't think people understand what age of consent is. I will explain it for you. Okay? In case you want to know why some states, or at least explain it to you how it works in the United States. I'll explain to you why age of consent exists and why some states have an age of consent of 16, some states have a different age of consent. I'll explain to you what that age of consent is. That age of consent is not so they can consent to having sex with someone. That is not what age of consent means. Age of consent is that they can consent to marriage. It is so you can get married before the age of 18. You can consent to become married without your parents' approval. Your father doesn't have to give you away at the age of 16. You're close enough that they'll allow you to get married. That commitment, that contract, that intervention of the government has to happen before that adult is allowed to have sex with the 16-year-old. I'm not saying that a 16-year-old can't have sex with an adult because of age of consent, but it's not like, oh, they consented, so I fucked them and then I went my own separate way. No, you have to be willing to marry them and go through the ceremony and sign the legal paperwork and put your ass on the line and then, move in together and consummate said marriage. Like, there's all those extra fucking steps. That's what age of consent is intended for. Okay, that's what it means. Like, sure, it's a practical, straightforward, and useful line to draw to protect children from adult predators, but it gives people this warped perspective. Now, people who don't understand what age of consent is, like you. Maturation isn't like flipping on a light switch. It's not about how mature they are. That's not what that means. On your 18th birthday, now you're just justifying reasons to fuck a minor. Now that's all you're doing. These are the arguments a pedophile uses, and now you're somehow an entirely different person than the day before. It's gradual, but the legal line in people's minds just overwrites that complexity with an arbitrary minor adult distinction. No, it doesn't. It's not arbitrary. The thing is, you're right. Different people mature, both physically and mentally, at different rates. But we can't make an individual judgment on each individual person. There has to be a legal standard. 18 was the chosen number because it's the average. That's the average age at which most people are fully matured and, both mentally and physically matured enough to act as an adult. So they made that the number. You are asking for this non-existent standard where, okay, everybody has to make a personal judgment call as to whether or not they think this person is mature enough. Society can't operate like that. That's not how laws are written. Laws have to have a defining line drawn that you cannot cross. And that's how laws work. If you cross this line, you have broken the law. They have to draw a line. And that's where that line was chosen. You trying to blur that line is what makes you a pedophile. I mean, yeah, you're right. Someone who is 17 yesterday and today's their birthday and they're 18, is there that much difference between yesterday and today? No, not really. But we're not talking about someone who was 17 the day before. You're talking about a fucking 14-year-old. I think that's a big enough difference that you should know.
Problems with the age of consent in general.
With or without the law telling you what the age is, you should still know.
Very epic Reddit chungus, my dude. This person cannot be a moderator on a server that welcomes kids. How?
They can't be within 100 feet of a fucking school zone. More or less a Reddit account.
The fuck is that controversial?
All right, that's the end of the video. It's not controversial. That person's a pedophile. You 100% had pedophiles in your server. You allowed them to be in there, and then you threw your mom under the bus by saying she owned the server. These fucking VTubers are all fucking freaks, man. It's like somebody point me in the direction of a VTuber who's not a freak, because I've yet to find one. I've yet to find one. If you can find me a VTuber who doesn't have a bunch of degenerate shit in their Discord or in their past, I'd love to see it. But I've yet to find one. And I'm including Ian now that he's a dragon VTuber. There's degenerate shit in his past too. They're all fucking freaks. Alright, that's it. That's what I'm calling it for this stream, guys. Jesus fucking Christ. I probably won't do Marathon again. I am not impressed with this at all. I'm kind of bored by it. Give my quick rundown to end out the stream with the my review of this server slam for Marathon. It's a pretty bog standard extraction shooter. There's absolutely nothing special going on here. I don't like any of the mechanics. It's like they gave you the Destiny / Halo gameplay with the gunplay. They took Destiny, they took Halo, and they sucked out all the fun bits. And this is what you're left with. This is what this feels like. It feels like somebody took Destiny and said, how do we make Destiny unfun? Boom, make that game. But that's what Marathon feels like to me. Fuck me, dude. So, probably won't be playing this tomorrow. Does the Oreo count? I don't think the Oreo counts as a VTuber, because it's just a wiggler. It's just a wiggler. Like, it's not, I guess you could say PNG tuber, because they're just using an animated GIF. They're like Diorio and Diorio's Wiggler is him. It's just a cartoon depiction of himself. He's not pretending to be a character. It's just him. So I wouldn't count Diorio. We're talking about the VTubers who like have an anime avatar character as a way to keep themselves anonymous so that they can do degenerate shit like this. Because that's the reason. That's the reason. It's so they can do degenerate shit like this. So no, Diorio doesn't count in my book. I don't think Diorio counts. I don't think J-Stalk counts. Like, those are just avatars that represent them. They're just... I mean, by that definition, every single person on fucking Twitter and Discord is a VTuber, because we all have avatars that aren't our actual pictures. And then we talk with that avatar next to our name in Discord servers. Like, that's not the same thing. That's not what I mean by fucking VTuber. So, find me an actual VTuber who doesn't have a bunch of degenerate shit in their past or in their Discord right now. And, let me know. Let me know what you find, because I'd love to go over it on stream. For now, though, that's going to do it for this stream and this video, guys. So, that's mostly the Nux Taku drama. I'll probably do a follow-up on this and go more in depth on the people like this leaflet person. And I'm going to look into more VTubers. And I am on the hunt to find the VTuber who's not degenerate. If you know of that VTuber, if you're a VTuber fan, and that's why you've clicked on this video and you wanted to see a normie take on VTubers, I think they're all freaks. But if you can prove me wrong, I am open to see it. Give me a good example of a VTuber who's not a freak. Put it in the comments. For now, though, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching this stream if you guys are watching live. If you're not watching live, be sure to subscribe to the channel, put on notifications to see when I go live. There's no set schedule yet, but all of these videos are recorded live. They're clipped from live streams. And if you can't catch the live streams but want to see the full unedited VODs and not just the edited clips I put up, consider becoming a channel member. Channel members have access to full unedited VODs. For now, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I want to thank all you wonderful witches for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.